Is that it up there? Is this it?
I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to find out. Whoa.
Holy shit, dude.
I have no idea though. I'm talking straight out of my udders. Clever girl.
Yeah. Easy breezy, beautiful. Clever girl. If you got a big, let me twerk it. I put my thing down, flipping it reverse. Anyways,
I've always loved you like a brother.
yeah, I'm just being honest with you. God, I just really like her.
Gummy body parts.
Send me candied dicks, yeah. Well, no, candy dicks, not candied.
How do you even get to the dark web? I don't even know.
Kinda on the wall or on the fence. On the wall, that's terrible. On the fence about Trump. I'm just full of bad racism tonight. Fucking Spooky-tober.
Welcome to Blue Skies from the Basement. My name is Austin, the banana, as you can see. Joining me, as fucking always, is my best friend, the Savage Dad himself, Wes.
I was hoping you weren't gonna address it.
The cow. I was going to address it. I just was gonna get there. Okay, I gotta do my normal shit.
No, I mean
you
the
know?
banana. I was gonna see how long we could go without saying.
Oh,
that
without
you're-
saying it?
yeah.
You know what? I thought about that too. Hold on. And joining us, as always, is my beautiful, beautiful wife, the cat. Honesty.
Meow.
I thought about that though. I was
Yeah.
like, I should just intro the show, and then we don't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
Like we literally don't reference that it's Spooky-tober, and we just fucking like go the whole episode, don't say anything about Halloween or anything like that, and we just fucking act like everything's normal, and then people would be like, "The fuck's going on here?"
Yeah,
It would have been great,
I'm
but
glad I have you saying Spooky-tober.
I think that is
Yeah.
awesome, and
Yeah.
I am a soundboard just like creator.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I create the sounds, you know. I
There's-
think the only good one that you have is swallow.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's swallow.
Yeah, yeah.
And I say it like a question too.
Swallow. Are you gonna? Anyways, so, yeah, it's Spooky-tober.
It is Spooky-tober. Y'all want to see my udders?
Oh, I want to see your udders. Oh my God, yes. Show the camera your udders. Can I?
You wanna
I want to milk it.
You wanna feel an udder?
I want to milk one of your udders. Yes, that is so satisfying.
Yeah, they're soft.
Sorry, I can't. I don't have udders.
It's okay.
I'm udderless.
So if I really wanted to while you were pregnant, I could have. Anyways,
So there's this podcast ad that plays on a bunch of podcasts that I listen to that are on like the iHeart network, and it's for what's her face from yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
yeah,
From the show where like they die and then they think they're in heaven. Why can't I think
The
of
Good
it?
Place.
The Good Place.
The
yeah,
Good
The
Place.
main star of that show has a podcast, or at least she was talking to somebody on the podcast, and in the ad she talks about when she was pregnant and she was breastfeeding, that one time she got like a clog in her breast and her husband had to like suck the clog out. And it's a podcast ad, but they talk about how like he was gagging while he was sucking on her tit, but like husband of the year type shit. I'm like, that's a wild fucking. I'm gonna listen to that podcast now.
that's a wild fucking ride right there.
Mhm.
That is some crazy shit.
I never had to do that. I tasted it.
I don't think I did. And now I am a little disappointed because we're probably not gonna have another kid. To
Yeah.
be completely honest with you, I don't think that we are.
I don't want another one.
Better find another pregnant lady.
I think one is enough. Like real talk, I'm good. Like
Is that how you have a kid? You find a pregnant lady
yeah,
Oh, I meant to try.
and
Milk,
get somebody.
boob milk.
Oh no, cause who was it? Ah man, I can't remember what her name was, but some chick at fucking Max and Irma's after she had a kid. Like
Well, it'd have to be somebody that like you liked. Couldn't it just be some just random person?
no, even if I like thought the person was attractive or like liked that person, like no.
That's not a very effective way to hit on randos either. Like, hey,
Well,
I want to put a baby in you.
She would
Like,
always have to go into the back and like what do you call it? Like pump or whatever. And then like one time she like brought it out and was asking people if they wanted to try it, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is peak Max and Irma's like shit right here, okay? It was some
peak Max and
some
Ernest.
fucking new. She wasn't a new mom. She already had kids, but she had just recently had a kid. Comes out from the back of her pumping in the office and is like, "Does anybody want to try my breast milk?" Like, fuck no, get that shit the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know. First of all, yes,
I would have said yes.
she was not attractive at all. Second of all, no. The only person's breast milk that I would ever fucking try would be the mother of my child. And I'm not having any more kids. Like, I'm good. So unless for some miraculous reason she changes her mind and is like, oh, I want to have another kid, and then I change my mind and I'm like, yes, let's have another kid, then and only then will I try breast milk. Because, like, even if me and her don't work out, I'm not having any more kids. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, give me like 10 to 15 years vasectomy. Like,
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
getting one soon.
yeah,
Yeah,
you got, you're
yeah.
good. You got the two already.
Yeah.
You got a boy and a girl too. Like, you're good.
Mhm.
Nah, I don't know why you haven't snipped that shit already.
I'm just waiting for Trump to send us more money.
Good point. Good fucking
Yeah.
point.
I spent that first one on electronics.
I mean, good point.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to ask my wife if I can get a new graphics card today, and she was like, "Why don't you save up for that?"
Well,
It's like,
no.
you got a good
First I
point there.
said, how much is it?
And then I said like $300.
Yeah.
And so then I said, well, why don't you save up for it?
So I took $100 out of our bank account and put it aside. Which technically I should have taken 150 out because I got 150 in birthday money, but we used that stuff for like other things, which we needed for like whatever. But
Yeah.
like I don't have an issue doing that, but like I should take 100. But I only took 100 out, and then whenever I have a chance on another paycheck, I'll take like 50 or 100 out depending on, and then when I have enough money to buy it, I'm just going to buy it
Yeah.
and then not tell her. And then when she's like, "What is that?" I'm going to be like, "It's the graphics card that you told me to save up for," and I did. So give it like 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then you're going to be bumping them new graphics. Yeah.
Because I was looking at like a 1660,
Yeah.
so I figured that would be like
It's a good card, dude.
it'd be plenty
Yeah.
to fucking do, like, especially like what we're trying to do, like gaming and streaming at the same time, like in the Discord, and then also recording it and running the game. Like,
Yeah.
1660 will fucking get me there.
Mhm.
Because if I'm gonna get anything like high end, like them coming out with the 380 and shit like that, like I need a whole new fucking computer. Basically, I need a new motherboard, like better processor. Like,
Are those
it's-
still on
yeah.
like the same PCI slots too, or are they on some new shit now? Like,
I assume that it's still in the same.
yeah.
That they're still on a universal level.
This is super boring for honesty and for the listeners.
Yeah.
I am excited about that card as
Yeah.
much as you are, but I want to get back to the breast milk thing.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
That's been stuck in my mind the whole time we've been talking. I don't discriminate. I like milk, like in general. Like, do you guys like
No.
almond milk?
Oh,
Coconut milk?
I like almond milk.
Yeah, but even then, I don't just drink almond milk. The only thing I'll drink milk-wise, like by itself, not with cereal or coffee or whatever, is chocolate milk.
Yeah. No, I'll drink like, but she drinks a lot of chocolate. That's right. That's true. I'll drink like buttermilk, like from I like eggnog. I like fucking
I don't
coconut
like
milk.
eggnog.
I
So,
like
are you
fucking
the
soy
type of
milk.
person that'll just drink milk like out of the gallon?
I used to. I don't do that anymore. I don't drink like
can't-
2% very
I
much
can't
anymore.
do that. I can't like just drink milk by itself. Like, it's just not a thing.
Yeah. What I want to get to though, I mean, there's a lot of people like that, and you're not supposed to drink milk as an adult. Like, you're supposed to stop as after a kid. It's not. It's like for babies. That's what it's like. It's for baby cows too. Like, that's what milk's for. It's got lots of
Yeah.
nutrients, and you're not supposed to keep drinking it. Anyway. That being said, if somebody was offering breast milk, I'd say yes.
Just any random person.
Yeah.
Just,
I'd
do-
want to see the differences between
do-
the different types of breast milk
Do
too.
diseases travel through breast milk?
Okay, but if you
Good
smoke
question.
and you smoke with random people, not super duper random, but
I mean,
kinda, like
okay.
if you smoke and you go to your friend's house to smoke and they have their friend over or their cousin who's in town from wherever, and that cousin just smoked with their friend before they left to come into town that day. So now you've got this whole chain of germs.
And fucking Kyle had herpes. Third link in the chain.
And now you have herpes.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're
So is
gonna
this
smoke,
the same thing with breast milk though?
I have no idea. I know they say not to like drink or smoke or like do drugs while you're breastfeeding, but I don't know if
Yeah.
like you'll catch like a
Like,
disease
would
through
you
the.
would you give your child herpes if you have herpes? You know.
I don't
Like-
think it's from the breast. No, I don't think so. I don't think STDs are transmissible through breast milk.
Okay.
I have no idea though. I'm talking straight out of my udders.
I'm just trying to figure this out. That's all I'm saying. I just want to know. This is certain information where I'm like, this could be important
Yeah.
in my day-to-day life. You know.
No,
And,
you're
like-
right. I just wanted to put it out there that I'll drink people's breast milk if they want to send me it.
This is like the what was her name? Bella Delphine or whatever.
Delphine, yeah.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
She sent in gamer girl bathtub water.
Yeah, and people were drinking it and getting like AIDS and shit.
Yeah, that was the news story. That was the exact
wasn't AIDS, was
headline.
it?
Was
was
CNN people getting AIDS and shit from Delphine.
Did you write for CNN?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to put on some pajamas and then go down the stairs? You know, like that show, Bananas in Pajamas.
I was like, wait, what?
It took me a second.
Yeah.
If you get me the pajamas, that would match.
What kind of
Then yes.
pajamas are they?
They're blue and white stripes.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's like the boy in the striped pajamas.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
chose not to say it.
Well, you're welcome.
But they're Australian
from me.
bananas.
Yeah.
So
It would come from you, you beautiful blonde, blue-eyed bastard. You beautiful white boy.
I am going straight to hell. Okay, there's no detour.
I'm going with ya.
There's no question about it. Like God's not gonna be like, no, he needs to go to hell. He's just gonna be like, I don't even know why you're asking me right now. Like he's going straight down there.
Didn't you see the signs posted? No Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, ding, ding. Banana phone.
My wine glasses. I'm gonna have to move them over because I'm gonna keep hitting them. Sorry, I'm fucking cultured.
Yeah, sorry.
I got a wine rack that has no wine on top of it, and wine glasses underneath that very rarely get used. I'm pretty sure this one has like a whole bunch of dust in it.
I really hope that picked up on video.
It probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're throwing shit at me. It's cool. I get
Oh.
it. You know.
There for a second, I thought you didn't know what we were talking about. I got real excited.
No, it's in my hand.
Oh.
Like I felt it hit my arm after it hit me.
Clever girl.
Yeah. Easy breezy, beautiful. Clever girl.
Clever. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, are we
Continue.
done talking about breast milk?
Yeah, we
Are
can
you
move
good?
on.
Are you good?
Send
sure?
me your breast milk.
We need a PO box.
We do.
We need
do.
a PO box.
People should send us things.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We could do like unboxing videos and shit.
Just don't send us weird shit.
if you,
I mean,
yeah,
no,
'cause then
do
it
it.
would be a PU box.
I want to not like you right now, but I gotta give it to you. So like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
No, send us weird shit. I would love for like once we get a PO box, dude. Send me whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's not like to a certain limit. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
like, don't send me body parts and don't send me feces.
Unless they're gummy
Or
body
piss.
parts.
What?
Gummy body parts.
Send me
Gummy-
candied dicks, yeah. Well, no, candy dicks, not candied dicks.
Yeah,
Sorry.
think
Very
about your
different.
wording there, bud. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
like keep it to a certain point. Like, don't get me involved in like some murder or something like
You're
that.
sending
or,
me a
or
box
any,
of evidence.
Don't get me involved in any crime.
Yeah.
Okay, like just that's the only thing. You can send me as much weird shit as you want, but don't send me shit to where I'm gonna get in trouble with it. Okay,
Have you
like
seen those unboxing videos where they order dark web boxes?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like
yes.
they unravel a tiny mystery from the internet. Like they'll order a box from some sketchy ass website on the actual literal dark web, and then unbox it. And sometimes it's like nothing, and sometimes it's like a bag of Coke and like a fake ID and like instructions to get across the border, and like
Yeah.
you just
yeah.
got signed up for drug smuggling accidentally.
Basically, yeah. Shit's crazy on the dark web. Don't ever go to the dark web. I'm talking to you, Maddie.
And tell Maze to stay off the dark web. I know he's already on there.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maze, get the fuck off there, bro.
How do you even get to the dark web? I don't even know.
There's like...
You download this browser called Tor. It's called an onion browser.
Stop!
Oh, yeah. Don't ask me questions like that. I'll tell people how to commit crimes
No,
if they ask me.
stop! We are literally recording an episode right now.
I was explaining to like
We-
14-year-olds how to torrent
we
things
can-
the other day.
No. I mean, you can do that on your own time, but this is a episode. This is a
Yeah.
full episode. We cannot do that.
It's a joke. It's spooky time.
You
It's a
you
joke.
you
Satire.
you download an app, download certain things, and then that helps you get to there. That's all you need to know. Like it's not like you can go to like Google Chrome and then like you can find the dark web. Like you gotta go like through multiple steps to get.
You
to
used
the
to be
dark
able
web.
to. You used to be able to just go to silkroad.com and then fucking buy stuff from. But it wasn't safe to do it through Chrome. But that got
Oh.
shut down by the FBI in like 2010.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I mean, cause like child sex trafficking and all that other shit happens on the dark web.
Lots
so-
of drugs,
Yeah, lots of drugs,
weapons,
weapons.
credit card theft.
Yeah, a lot of bad shit happens on the dark web. That's why it's called the dark web. I mean, like, yeah.
Good stuff too, but mostly bad stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you're talking good stuff, you're like torrenting movies and music and like other things
doing
like that.
experimental psychedelics.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's, some of the good things. But I'm going to say, as a person who has not really been on the dark web ever, I've never been on the dark web, but I'm
Yeah.
going to say that there's more bad things on the dark web than there is good things, and that's why it's called the dark web.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
reminds me. We don't really have time to dive into this. We'll do this on another episode. I'll do a deep dive on this website. But there's this website called LHOHQ, which is basically like as close to the dark web on the real internet that you'll get nowadays. And it's just crazy. Like, it makes no sense. The web pages are like packed dense with like old like early 2000s like bad gifs and like flashy images, but then like there's legitimate government documents like posted on these pages with all this weird shit on top of them, and they're like there's hidden links all over the images, so like you click something and it takes you to a random page. So like diving into this website, you can't figure out how you got to where you got to. You just have to click through and try and remember, and then maybe you'll get back there someday. But there's like stuff that should be classified that was leaked like on this website and shit like that. Like there's crazy conspiracy stuff.
Record it.
Yes, I'll do that, and then I'll have a whole presentation for an episode. We're coming back in 2 weeks after this, so
Yeah.
I'll have a whole thing ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like if you're a person that wants to deep dive into it and then kind of like know like how you got there, record it and go
Yeah.
back and watch it and then figure out like what the links are and shit like that and where you clicked and stuff, and then you'd be able to get back to where you were.
You ever want to like go down like a deep rabbit hole though? That's the website to do it. That's like the one internet conspiracy that's like still going on that hasn't been figured out.
Huh.
Yeah.
Heard that.
Do you want to stay up till 6 in the morning and then your wife gets up mad at you?
That already happens.
Check out that
so
website.
No.
Yeah.
I already have enough things that make that happen. So
Mhm.
like I'm just gonna stay away from that. Speaking of my wife and doing things with my wife,
Yeah.
and something that I wanted to talk about, and we'll get off of drinking breast milk and the dark web.
I guess those were my topics.
Yeah. Me and my wife just finished Hamilton today.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And we were talking about it last night, and for people out there that don't know, I am a theater nerd, but not in the sense of being on stage. I have been on stage when I was younger, when I was like bless you. When I was like
Oh,
10 or
thank you.
11 years old, I was the main character for Velveteen Rabbit. Yada yada yada.
That's so fucking cute.
Yeah. I, as a 10-year-old, memorized 256 lines, and the only reason that I remember that was because 256. Like,
Mhm.
And there's an article in the paper.
and my mom did save an article in the paper.
Oh, we both
That-
have articles in the paper.
Yeah, I've been in the
I
paper
remember
before.
that now.
Yeah. And I did have a monologue too. So, yeah, just saying, 10 years old, 10, 11 years old.
That's bananas.
It is bananas. But when I got into high school, I was backstage. So, like, I kind of know what it takes to somewhat do shows and how difficult especially like musicals can be, audio wise, lighting wise, building sets and running the sets wise. Like in Hamilton, the fucking spoiler alert, the fucking floor moves. Like, and it's in 2 sections too. So like they have a part where like there's that giant circle and the whole thing moves, and then they have parts where like the center stays stationary, and there's like an outer part that, dude, like bananas all over the wall. Like seriously, okay?
Gooey yellow mess.
Yeah. Like I got a boner. I was like, the floor moves. Bing. I was like, holy shit. I was like, that's fucking like you can ask her. I literally said it out loud. I was like, the fucking floor moves.
Yeah,
Like,
you had the nerd reaction I had when I saw like the puppet stage for the Dark Crystal remake and like the making of, where like the people puppeteering are below the stage and they have like these built pathways through the fucking forest stages that they built for the puppeteer.
That's so hot, dude.
Yeah, I know. I
That's
was
so
watching
hot.
that with a giant raging cops. Like,
But no, and then like Hamilton itself was just a fucking amazing like show. Like,
how'd you like it?
I was good.
Besides all the theater nerd stuff.
No, I like theater stuff. So
Yeah.
I like watching musicals.
I enjoy a good musical. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't know, like it's a masculine thing to not like plays and musicals.
Yeah.
Like honestly, but
It
like,
shouldn't be.
No, it definitely
Yeah.
shouldn't be. No, for sure, no.
There's this weird like singing's gay. Like it's like.
I mean,
not-
don't get me wrong. Like a lot of the, I wouldn't say a lot, but like let's be real here. A lot of the guys and girls that are in theater are usually gay
Yeah, yeah.
or extremely flamboyant.
Well,
Flamboyant.
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 Flip
Yes.
flam.
And that comes
what's
with
the Missy Elliott song. Sorry.
Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Flip flam.
Do you know if you actually reverse that, it's what she says?
Yeah.
Before that? Yeah.
Flip a flam. Flip.
I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. It's your playing yet.
yeah.
your
Flip a
flip-
flam. Flip. That's what I said.
If you got a big, oh, let me twerk it. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Anyways, I know too many songs. Watching it and like seeing the set and seeing shit move and everything else like was awesome for me, being like a backstage theater nerd. But then also like just the way that the musical is, where it's like rapping, and every single main character except for the king is not white.
Yeah.
That is literally the only person in the entire show that's white. Like, which makes sense. And I also thought it was fucking awesome. I was like, that is cool. The main character, Alexander Hamilton, is also the producer of the show. I don't know if you know that or not, but like, I can't think of his name. You just looked it up recently.
No, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was awesome. I honestly, I loved it. I was like, this.
It's a bold choice to be like the main and also the producer, but it's fucking awesome. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
It works for what it is.
I was having fun the whole time. I cried towards the end. Not
I
gonna lie.
cried a lot.
Yeah. She did.
Yeah.
I cried at one part. I cried at one part, and then I think I cried at the end, just because I was like, that was just so amazing. I was like, oh my god.
Have you seen Les Miserables yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We talked about that.
Yeah.
That's another one that we watched recently. And
I did that show in high school, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember you telling me that now.
yeah.
But that one made me dizzy, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There's lots of spinning shots in Les Miserables.
Yeah. I think the other let's see, freshman year it was A Christmas Carol and and 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
And so it was we had t-shirts that said 12 Angry Christmas Carolers.
Nice.
I don't know where that shirt's at anymore, and I'm kind of upset about it.
I just did choir in like middle and junior high.
Yeah.
Same.
I had a good voice back then too, and then puberty happened, and I stopped doing that. Yeah.
Damn, you weren't tone deaf? So you're not tone deaf. You just don't have the voice
I just don't have a
anymore.
voice. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always
I
thought
can't
you
hit
were-
notes.
I always thought you were tone deaf.
I kind of am, but not really.
Oh. I mean, I was
I'm
definitely
musical.
like, in my younger days, was sought out in choir because I had such a high voice for a male. So
Yeah.
like, I could hit certain notes. So I was kind of sought after. We're like, whatever. But now not so much.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What do they call that? When you can hit a falsetto, but it's not really a falsetto. It's like a true setto. Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
See, that's another thing. I don't know all this like singer lingo.
Oh, you're not an alto soprano.
I don't know what that means. Like I do, but I
What about a
could. But
baritone?
like I know what those are,
Yeah.
but I don't.
I don't remember. I'm just listing them off now.
I know that you know, right?
Yeah.
Like like so
The
a
fuck is a
baritone is low,
mezzo-soprano?
right?
Yeah,
Bar-
I don't know all those. I just know that it's like soprano,
Is
and then alto is under that, and that's all I got for you.
and then a baritone is below that. Yeah.
Tenor.
So
Soprano, alto, tenor, baritone.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't a soprano. There was one below that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's called tenor. Tenor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean, I guess I kind of know, but still, it's like when somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm a soprano," I'm like, "You were on the show?
Yeah.
What, like, what?"
When I think about choir, all I think about is crying for the first time I ever sang, and I'm proud to be an American. That fucking song made a whole classroom of fucking middle schoolers cry because it was like it was after 9/11, so it was like, yeah, it was fucking brutal to sing
my
that. Like
God.
my first year of choir,
Holy
patriotism was high back then.
shit. Yeah.
And then the other memory I have is doing the fucking Christmas show and loving Feliz Navidad. That's still my all-time favorite Christmas song.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, that
Do,
song's
do,
so
do,
much fun.
do.
Yeah.
Feliz Navidad. Do, 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 do.
I think I made my mom want to kill herself when I was rehearsing that one.
Did I ever tell you that choir story where like my best friend at the time like fell off the
The side of the fucking
risers?
bleachers?
No, he
Yeah.
fell off the back.
Oh fuck.
He fell off the back of the risers
Yeah.
because they have like risers in like school, and they weren't like up
I
against.
know what risers are.
I
Look
wasn't-
at you, banana
I,
splaining.
I was looking at you, but I was just explaining to other people. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. There's like risers in school, and so like these ones weren't up against the wall. They
Yeah.
were like out in the middle of the room.
Yeah, they're like choir stands.
yeah. But they didn't have a backing to them either.
No, every time we did a performance, the people in the back were just fucked. It was
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
This is one of those moments
Yeah.
where I'm in the front middle, and the next thing I know, you just hear like screaming, and my friend Gian is laying on the floor up against the wall,
Yeah.
just like in pain. And like, so they like push all the kids out into the hallway. Fucking paramedics come.
You're still standing on the stage trying to hit that note.
No, fuck off. So he asked for me.
Oh,
Like this was my
so cute.
this was my best friend back
Yeah.
in elementary school. Yeah, because this was like 2nd or 3rd grade,
Yeah.
and he specifically asked for me while they were waiting on the paramedics, like to get there, and so like I had to go in, fucking bawling my eyes out because I'm like, my best friend's gonna die, like shit is serious, and like I'm like, no, it's gonna be okay, man. Like his dad died in 9/11. Like, he was in the building, like, when that shit happened. Like, he had a coin from the Secret Service because of his affiliation with everything. Like,
Yeah.
so, mom was a single mom. Like, I was really good friends with him. And still have him on Facebook. Like, still check in with him. His name's Gian. So, like, shout out to you, bro. I'm going to tell him about this episode. But, yeah, he, like, felt... I'm pretty sure that nothing happened. Like, he was okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he just got the wind knocked out of him, but, like, ended up going away in the ambulance. Like, I don't know. I'll have to follow up on this story if he actually had any injuries, because that was fucking years ago.
Yeah.
But I just remember me, like, being by his side because he asked for me, and I was just like, I don't want you to die. Yeah. Great times. Good times.
My best friend back in elementary school, his name was Brian, and he grew up to be a paleontologist, and I'm dressed like a cow on a podcast drinking a beer. I have a picture in the Dublin local paper from back in the day of me doing a dinosaur display diorama with him. We did a display on gallimimuses, and that was in the paper, me with like my head against his, and we both had like blonde bowl cuts, and we're like wearing like a 3-button like blue striped polo, both of us, just like dinosaurs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he actually followed through, and you were just like, I'm going to become a stoner, alcoholic that skates.
Yeah. Podcaster. I'm a media guru now, is what I like to tell people.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Media guru is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
If I want to like pump up my resume, I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking audio engineer,
Yeah.
radio host.
Yeah.
I say internet radio host a lot to older people.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm an
'cause-
internet radio host, and they're like, what's that?
I
And you're
tell
like,
I tell the dudes at the Quickie Mart all the time that I have an internet radio show that I co-host with my buddy.
and they're like, oh, dude, you're so cool, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You're on the radio? And you're like, yeah, that's what I said. I'm on the radio.
Totally free.
So speaking of Hamilton, though.
Yeah.
So we went to the pumpkin patch today.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
with Amelia, which was awesome. Like, loved going out there. So we're like going through the maze, like the big corn maze, and these theater nerds like walk by us.
I don't think you're allowed to call them theater nerds.
No,
If
I'm
you-
definitely allowed to call them a theater
you were
nerd because
like-
I'm not. I was never ever this much of a theater nerd.
You were the theater nerd.
I was never this.
theater nerd though.
No.
You were
I
the
was,
level under the nerds.
I was literally
You
the
were the
backstage
nerds.
nerd, okay? And that's
We're
a
the
whole
alto nerds.
that is a whole different vibe than the on-stage theater nerds. The
Yeah.
backstage theater vibes are like your fucking rough cut fucking stoners and like
Oh yeah, yeah.
your losers of the school. Like that's what we were, okay? But
Smoking a
the-
cig with the headphones like this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
that's the back of theater to front of theater is a whole different vibe. These were for sure front of theater nerds. Okay.
All right.
I have a right to say it. Don't
Yeah,
make
no.
me explain myself. Anyways, they were literally out loud reciting Hamilton, like rapping it,
Yeah.
and like in sync, and like some people like would join in at certain parts to like amplify it. Like they practiced this shit like
Well,
a
they're
lot.
probably putting on a production of it in theater.
But going through a
On
corn
Zoom?
maze.
Yeah, on Zoom. Good point.
Going through a corn maze
Yeah.
out in the middle of fucking BFE is not the place for that.
Yeah.
And like we're trying to like walk with Amelia and like have a good time with her when there's fucking theater nerds over here reciting Hamilton,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I couldn't have a good time. Just like I can't have a good time right now while you're fucking stroking your udders. dude.
Why does singing Hamilton bother you though? That would be entertaining to me.
Because
I would
that
hop in.
because that just made me laugh. This is turning me on. So there's two different.
I'm not
things
asking
here.
about this. I'm pretending like this isn't happening.
I didn't even notice.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I definitely noticed. It was definitely a thing.
I mean, I was gonna start playing with them at some point.
I mean, good point.
Yeah. I was trying to see if I could like tie them to.
Together, you could do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hot. Oh yeah, tie them nipples together.
That's a whole different type of titty twister right there.
Mm.
Stupid dad.
I wish
Okay.
I was the ghost.
Hey, did you hear that Casper the Friendly Ghost died recently? No, I'm just kidding. That was a dumb joke. Never mind. Don't listen to me. A ghost died. A famous one.
I'm gonna go grab a drink, and then we're gonna hop into a certain section
Okay.
and do that. Cause I think I talked about everything I needed to talk about. So let me go grab a drink real quick. We'll get into that.
Okay.
You just keep the show rolling.
Every time you get up, the buzzing happens.
It's me.
It is you.
Tell me it's me.
It's weird that it does that.
It's like he's gone.
Whatever.
I'm just playing these for myself.
Where's the butt stuff?
Oh, that one didn't work. See, why is the buzzing happening?
Where's the butt stuff?
There we go.
Pew! Pew pew! Pew 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 pew!
All right, you got your drink?
You can't just keep the show going by playing.
Yes, I can. I played this one. I have it ready for when.
Pew! Pew pew! Pew 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 pew! Did the buzzing go away?
Yeah.
I told you it's me.
I don't know why it's doing that.
It's me. I'm telling you it's me.
Why would it be you though?
I have a certain like aura or like energy.
Electrical
Anyway.
frequency.
Yes, around me, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay,
So, Crystal sent some talks in.
well, the first one's mine.
Oh, okay.
First one is the one and only one that I have.
Okay.
Again, I'm only bringing one to this, but
You gotta fix your algorithm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really do. But do we want to
Oh
intro
yeah,
this?
yeah. So
This is TikTok. Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into those right now. So here we go.
Somebody were to describe you to somebody you've never met, would they describe you as a Christian?
Wait, no, my name's Connor.
Sorry, I thought that one was funny. I'm so sorry.
He does have kind of like Christian youth pastor vibes though.
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
The
but
white
somebody-
V-neck.
Oh
and
no! Why
the...
is
Shut up! I was talking, lady.
Why is it not exiting?
Aw. Do you want to download the video?
No, I don't. That's not what I want to do.
Does escape work or does that mess every? Oh, that's what you're
That's
pressing.
what-
I thought you had a hotkey or something.
No, I'm pressing escape. That should work.
Click on the video again.
Were to-
And then do it? No.
That's what I already
Oh, what the fuck?
did. I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That works.
I guess that works. I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do from now on. I don't know. I don't
Why is
know.
it being so weird?
I
for
don't
this
know.
Episode?
I don't know, man.
All right, so here's a Crystal talk. Crystal sent me these. I don't remember them. I was high when I watched them. I was at work, so
Well, here we go.
don't listen to those people at work.
Bro, he's high as fuck.
Okay.
Yo, he needs to tell me what strain. That's it. What strain?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, his eyes, for the
100%.
audio listeners, were fucking the reddest I've ever seen someone's eyes be.
I can't.
That's upsetting.
I don't know why it's doing that. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Okay, next one.
Finding his beat.
Yeah, that was my life for like 20 years. Like,
Oh god, that one hit way too close to home. Way too close to home.
yeah, it do be like that though.
Why is it doing that? It's exiting the video, but it's not exiting the video. Like, I don't understand.
It's all right.
Anyways.
There. Fantastic. Let me see it.
No, wait, I changed my mind.
I'm sure what you've written is fine. Just let me see.
No, don't look. It's not ready.
It's
I saw that one on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Crystal, do you have some explaining to do?
You don't want to know what the explanation is.
I don't. I really
Yeah.
don't.
There was a fourth one I was gonna send you, and that was just for us.
Okay, so this
so
is
I didn't send it.
okay. So this is my wife. TikToks.
That's not your wife in the video.
No,
Okay,
no, it's not.
just making sure.
Okay.
Hey, I need you to come take that trash out real quick.
I'm in the middle of an online game, but can I do it right after I'm
Absolutely not. Let's go. Hold up. Hold up. Parents, let me explain something real quick, just in case y'all didn't know. Online games, that's like if she was playing a real game and I made her say, Mr. Referee, can you pause the game real quick and let me have her come over here and take the trash out and let all of her teammates down? Here's the deal with online games. It's the same thing. You can't pause an online game and she's got teammates that she's going to let down if you just have her come take out the trash right now when we know that trash can wait for 10, 15 minutes, however long this online game takes. But here's the deal, kids. If I let you do that, as soon as your online game is over, please come take the trash out. Deal? Deal. Deal? Do better.
Hell yeah, Billy.
Okay, so I've seen this dude around. I have seen the TikToks, like, of different ones that he's done.
Oh, he's got a fucking whole thing going.
This is his thing.
Yeah.
And they're kind of awkward to me.
It
Like-
was a little awkward, but I feel it though. He's right.
Like, no, he's right. And he's right with, like, a lot of the things that, like, he says and stuff and that he brings up. But it's just awkward to me. Like, it just feels awkward. Like, he's just, I don't know.
It's also youth pastory vibes a little
bit. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I bet that guy's a Christian.
I've only seen that one video from him.
Oh, really? No, I've seen the other ones. And they're all like that, though, where he, like, comes up with, like, some scenario like that. And he's like, hold on. And he, like, tries to give you, like, some advice. But for me, it's all like, I already know this.
It's like this.
I don't.
Welcome back, audio listeners.
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
You didn't miss a fucking thing.
You guess you're gonna have to check out the video. That's all I can tell you. So yeah, back to this.
Are you Squidward? That's okay. Take your time.
Okay, that was good. That was good.
Fucking Patrick bits in SpongeBob are some of the best. Like,
oh yeah, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Literally, when I first met Casey, he was like, "If you don't get my SpongeBob references, we can't be friends."
Yeah,
and I was like, "I fucking got you, bro. Like, you'll be okay."
SpongeBob used to be the one thing that Crystal and I would watch instead of like Family Guy or any of the other animated shows. It was just always SpongeBob on a loop, like constant.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all we watched.
So next one. Oh.
Hello. Hello. Let me out. Where the fuck am I? Hello. Hello.
That's fucked and awesome and dark.
Where the fuck am I? Is that priest I can hear?
What?
Let me out. Hello. Hello. Stop the mask. Stop, I can hear you. Hello. Hello, please. Hello. Who's there? Hello. Easy, shame me. I'm in the box. No, I'm fucking front of you. I'm dead. You gotta hear that. Hello again. Hello. I just called to say goodbye. I'm going to die. I'm afraid to say.
Wow. What a boss.
Can I do that
At your funeral?
I mean, obviously I'm gonna be there, but not really be there. But like, could I totally record something like that? And like, if I die before you, will you make sure that it gets played at my burial? Actually, I'm gonna be cremated, so that doesn't really work.
I just want to make one of those videos of like, if I died slipping on a banana peel and smacking my head in like a 50, send it like just a long video of all the dumb ways I could have died.
What TV show or movie was that?
A Family Guy does a bit about it when Carter dies.
Oh.
Or no, when Mr. Weed dies from Peter's Job. I think Carter has one too. I think they do it a couple times in Family Guy, actually.
Yeah. I feel like they got that from somewhere.
I'm sure it's it's always a reference to something.
Yeah, I feel like I'm picturing like a live. I can't think of it. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm pretty sure that was our TikTok section though.
Mm-hmm.
So. TikTok. Hey there.
You guys playing footsie?
I mean, no.
Can I join?
It's more like foot to knee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Foot knee?
Foot knee.
Yeah. That sounds like you've got foot acne.
I remember one time I hit my knee and I was like, oh, my knee. And like, we're like, that kind of sounds like it could be like a place. Like, hey, man, I just came from Omni.
Omni. There's some dumb town names out there.
Hey, man, have you ever been to Omni?
No, but I've been to Intercourse, Philadelphia. Or is it Pennsylvania? It's Pennsylvania. Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I was going to be like, Philadelphia.
Whatever.
Is its own.
We did intercourse in Philadelphia, too.
You got 5 for that one. That was good.
That chug was for 2 reasons.
There's an Intercourse, Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
No shit. I didn't know
I almost
that.
bought a shirt when
All
I
right,
was
get
there.
your fucking feet off of me. No, stop. It's annoying. Stop. You want to put your feet up? Put them on that chair.
No, I want to put them on you.
No.
The chair's not warm.
No.
And banana-y.
No. Stop. Get your fucking dirty ass feet off of me right fucking now. I can deal with hers, definitely not yours. Just like I'm not gonna put my dirty ass feet on anybody ever. My feet stink.
My feet are stanky.
Always and forever. Can we take a break real quick?
Yeah, I'm cool with a break.
Okay, cool.
I got a couple things to talk about.
Yeah, I just want to take a break real quick. Cool. Welcome back from the break. Kitty Cat was CBCB, so she went night-night. And it's just the banana and the cow now. Do cows eat bananas?
I'm sure if you gave them a banana, they'd eat it.
They'd eat it? Yeah, I mean, they eat grass.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Like, hold on.
I think they eat a very specific diet because they have the whole, like, 7 stomachs and everything or something crazy like that.
Hey, Siri.
Okay, Google.
Do cows eat bananas?
According to Farmhouse Guide, fresh bananas as well as rotten bananas make an excellent healthy treat for cows, and they can even be fed as a part of a cow's daily diet.
Yes, fuck your iPhone.
That's awesome.
Fuck your iPhone.
It's because you fucked it up. It's because you said okay Google right after I said hey Siri. But that's awesome though. That like
it played through the episode.
That is great. It's gonna be extremely loud.
I'll bring it down.
Well, in the video, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I can't do that shit. It's just gonna fucking ear rape people. Banana facts.
Wait, I didn't even hear the answer because I was so excited about it happening.
No.
I'm not gonna play it again.
Okay.
I was just gonna read.
They either regular bananas or rotten bananas can be a part of like their regulatory diet along with other things.
Cool.
So yes, cows can eat bananas.
Hell yeah, they do. Moo.
Please eat me.
I eat bananas from the bottom. That's how I
my
typically.
Did you know that if you open a banana from the bottom, you won't get all the stringy?
Yeah,
things?
I tell people all the time that's the better way to.
Yeah, to eat bananas. That's how apes and monkeys eat bananas. Is from quote unquote the bottom, which for them would be the top.
Well, then you have a convenient little handle if you flip it the other way.
Yeah. So I put that in the Slack Discord. That was one of my banana facts.
Yeah.
For the day. Was that?
Hit us up if you want banana facts. Just don't be annoying about it.
Just join the Slack server.
Yeah.
Join our server, and then there's a link to join the Slack server and our server, and you can join that. And I post regular banana facts in there every day. So, yeah. Real quick though, shout out to fucking Apollo and to everybody else out there that's in the Slack server that has helped support us and has joined the YouTube and subscribed and are liking videos and commenting and stuff. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all that you do.
There were a couple recent people that hadn't checked out the podcast yet that joined the Slack recently that like saw the giveaway that we did and saw that the new videos got posted and checked them out and said they enjoyed them and that they're relaxing and fun to listen to.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like that means so much to us. Like we went from like 38 and now we're at like 68. It's like we bumped up 30 fucking subscribers like in like 2 days basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was ready to cry. And they were like, people were like, wait till you hit like 1K or like 1 million. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to cry then too. But like, even these 30 people right now, like, means so fucking much to us.
Yeah.
Like, that means a lot. Like, that you guys would be nice enough to do that shit. Like, it warms my heart. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is actually fucking, good. And I really enjoy what we do. We work really hard. And so to see that happen, like, it definitely helps out.
Yeah. Sorry, my throat's all I need to take a drink. But
go ahead.
I was just checking to see if I got a notification from somebody who was gonna call in from the Discord. I forgot that person's name.
That would totally work.
Yeah, no, I know, because they can just call in to the voicemail line. I can answer it on my phone. It'll play through the mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just have to turn the volume down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. We could do it on fucking here.
Oh, yeah.
They could just call into me,
Mhm.
and then, like...
Oh, yeah, because it'll pick up the desktop audio, too.
Yeah.
Does that record into... That doesn't record into Reaper, though.
No, it doesn't.
That's the one thing.
That is the one thing.
Yeah.
You'd be able to hear it on the video episode, but not on the audio episode.
That's my baby. You don't kill my baby.
No, I'm not killing your baby. Okay, I would never do that to you.
Okay.
Okay, like I love you, and I don't want to do anything to hurt you. Okay.
Yeah.
So like whatever I can do to make sure that your life is as easy as possible and that it's as happy as possible.
Okay? Oh, well, I really appreciate that.
I'm gonna do it.
I really appreciate that, brother.
Cause Cletus, I love you.
I love you too, brother.
Okay.
I've always loved you like a brother.
I mean, that's good. That's good. That's good. Even though we're not blood, we don't share the same family.
Oh, that's what I've always said. A brother from another mother.
I mean, yeah, but it's not even like a brother from another mother, but like we got the same dad. It's like a brother from another mother and a different father. We got different daddies. We got different moms. We just from a different place.
Well, Jim Bob, what happened to your accent there for a minute?
It's trying to explain things sometimes. It gets a little mixed up in there, and
you sounded like a regular old city boy there for a minute.
I have been. I'm sorry, brother. I've been visiting the city every now and again. Okay, a lot. I've been visiting in the city a lot. There's this cute girl out there, and her name's Honesty. And I just
Amnesty.
Honesty, and I'm just being honest with you. Okay, I just really like her, and she doesn't like the way that I normally talk. So when I go out there and I see her,
well, I told you that city was gonna change you, boy.
It has changed me a little bit.
Yeah,
it has, but I've learned. Okay, I still know my roots.
Well, just don't go learning too much.
I still know where I come from. Okay.
Okay.
And I know that you always be my brother. That's what it's gonna be. You's gonna be my brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wait. Yeah.
And I don't think that anything in the city is gonna change me from who I really am.
And it's like my pappy's pappy told him was that the banana meets girl changes banana.
I mean,
circle of life.
Bananas change though. Bananas change.
Bananas do change.
We go from not being ripe to ripe. And that's just the way of the banana.
Well, just don't go rotten, brother.
I'll never go rotten.
Okay.
There's no way. I'd never go rotten. I tell you what, I will never go rotten.
I tell you what. I tell you what.
So I'm super excited for Katie's party because I'm gonna be Wayne.
Yeah, nice.
So for the next
That'll
week,
be good.
The next week I'm watching nothing but Letterkenny.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the wide stance, arms crossed, fucking.
No, arms in the pockets.
Well, I mean, he does the arms crossed too.
He does do the arms crossed too, but like anytime somebody's like, "Hey, what's up, Austin?" I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna be standing there. How are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad. I've been trying to like tell people about it at work.
Yeah.
And I told my superintendent and was like trying to like, be like, hey, this is a really good show. I think that you would like it. Cause like he's like 2 years. He's like, you're 27.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's your age.
Yeah.
So I was like, and like he's kind of somewhat of a country / like city boy. And so I was like, I think that you would really like it. You know, I think that because it brings like both sides.
Another one of them brothers.
it brings both sides of it. And I was like, it's just nonstop fucking comedy. And so I showed him the skit where he's about to cook the Alberta beef, and they're like standing in front of the truck, and he's like, pump the brakes.
Yes.
Where's the S&P, bud?
That's a classic bit. Because, I mean, the fucking grill bit gets done in a lot of movies and, like, TV shows and shit. But it never quite that rapid fire that way.
No.
That type of, like...
And that was one of the original bits that I had saw on like Facebook when I first like found out about the show, like seeing the bits on Facebook, and then I was like, I gotta know what show this is, and then went and watched it. When it finally got to that part into that bit, I was like, oh, this is that part. I was like, I know what's happening. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So like I was telling him about it, and then our elevator operator walks. My foreman was in there, and he like asked my foreman. He was like, do you know about the show? He's like, nah, I've never seen it. I was like, but I've told him about it. Like, I told him to go and watch it. Like, I think he would like it too, because he's more of a country boy. So I was like, they're Canadian hicks, but like, you'll fucking get it. So then our elevator operator walks in, and we were still talking about it. And so we asked him. He was like, have you ever seen it? He was like, yeah, I've seen a few episodes. And I was like, okay, so do you think that he would like it? And he was like, yeah, I think you would like it. And I was like, thank you. Letterkenny. There's a show to watch. Okay, watch it.
Telling people about Letterkenny is like asking, like, do you want to know if we're really friends or not? like
for real, dude. Yeah, like if you can't get that humor, if you can't be down with Letterkenny, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, what would be it? Big Mouth and Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
Like those are like the 4 shows where it's like, if you don't like one of those, then we probably can't get along.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you may not like the other ones, but if you can't like at least one of those shows, we're not going to get along. Like, seriously. It's just not... Like, I might be able to get along with you, but we're not going to be, like, best friends. Like, it's just not going to happen. Because you don't have the same humor that I do. Each one of those shows, like, has its own seriousness and covers certain issues and shit like that, but it's also funny and, like...
They're all also super unique and like well done shows.
Yeah,
so,
all
like,
4 of those, like seriously. So
Yeah.
if you can't like at least one of those shows, we're not gonna be friends. We'll be acquaintances, but we're not gonna be friends. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with all 4 of those shows as well. Those were all great.
And I've told you about 2 of those shows.
Yeah, I told you about Big Mouth.
You told me about Big Mouth. And I told you about Letterkenny and Love, Death, and Robots.
Yep.
And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think we both, like, kind of just found on our own.
That was popular enough that people just talk about it.
Yeah. And anything that Andy Samberg does, I'm like, I'm on it.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. That dude's great.
At first, though, I did see some skits about it, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to like the show. And then I actually started watching it, and I was like, I fucking love this show.
It's
like,
tough to watch stuff with cops in it for me, but they do it really fucking good.
Yeah. And then, like, even fucking Terry, like, goes through, like, being stopped by a cop and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. God, being drunk.
I don't know what the word is that you're looking for either.
Profiled.
Oh, yeah.
Being profiled by a cop because he was trying to get his daughter's blanket and, like, picked up his blanket and the cop, like, stops him. And he's, like, trying to tell the cop, like, or he never tells the cop that he's also a cop.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm literally being profiled right now for just being a black man in a neighborhood that I live in, just trying to get my daughter's blanket that fell out the window of his car.
Yeah.
And, like, got profiled. So, like, they go over, like, situation. They have serious moments in there. But it also is, like, a fucking hilarious show. And, yeah, when I watched it was before all this shit. Like, really started going down. So it was like, oh, this is cool. But, like, now it's like, can I even really say that, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is, like, a good show?
Well,
am I, like, are people going to take me as, like, a Blue Lives Matter person?
Just because you like comedy?
Just because I like a comedy show that's about cops? Like,
and they're not even real cops.
Do I have to be specific and be like, no, you know, like, we don't agree with that shit. Like, we are definitely Black Lives Matter people. We are not like a Blue Lives Matter person or All Lives Matter people. Like, that's not, no, because that takes away from the narrative. That's not what All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter became a thing after Black Lives Matter started. And the reason why Black Lives Matter started was because innocent black people were being killed by cops. So that's the whole thing. So the only reason that those things came out was because of Black Lives Matter, and that's why we don't say All Lives Matter, because that's not like, yes, we get that. All lives matter.
Yeah.
But that's not the issue here. Like, That's not the issue.
The one criticism I would have of the BLM movement is that they chose that name, is that because it leaves open the opportunity for people to say things like all lives matter or white lives matter or it's okay to be white or blue lives matter. Like when you boil some like a big concept like systematic racism down to a single phrase and make that the phrase of the movement, it makes it too easy for people to say dumb shit in response to it.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of like weeding them out.
Yeah, that too.
Like we passed by a church today, and like on their sign was "All Lives Matter," and it was like respect all of humanity, and I was like, like yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's also a good message, but you're just missing the fucking point.
But again, the whole reason that you put "All Lives Matter," the only reason that you put that up there and didn't just put "respect all of humanity" was because of the Black Lives Matter movement. And I was like, you're outing yourself.
Yeah.
You're outing your whole church right now as being people who don't believe that like the Black Lives Matter movement is something serious.
I do think it makes conservative people feel like they can't put Black Lives Matter on their sign. Like, you should be able to just like, well, it's easy to say Black Lives Matter. And if that's the issue is that black people feel like their lives don't matter in America right now, then it should just be easy to be like, well, I'm white and I think Black Lives Matter. But there are a lot of people who don't see the problem. Like, that's not part of their bubble, their circle. So like, they think black people have it as equal as they do, and they don't see any problem at all. And then they'll throw the stats of like, well, white people are killed as much or more than black people.
But there's more of a white population than there is a black population.
Yeah, you got to break it down to the ratio by demographic, and then you see that black people are killed three more times per.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been over that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's not bad to reiterate it in different episodes because you never know, this could be the first episode that somebody's listening to.
Yeah.
And it's always good for us to continue to reiterate that.
Yeah.
Because we need to get that out there. We, as small of a podcast we are, it is still something that we should continue to like voice when it does come up.
Yeah.
And continue to do that shit.
And if you disagree with us, don't stop listening. Write in. Tell us why you disagree. You probably won't, but you might change my mind on some things. Like, it's worth having the conversation, so don't just fucking get mad at us for having opinions and turn the show off. Like,
no.
Yeah.
Feel free to have a conversation with us. Between me and Wes, we both have enough knowledge to be able to know what we're talking about when it comes to that certain subject.
Yeah.
So like, if you feel that you disagree and you would like to have a conversation with us, feel free to write in. There's plenty of ways. It'll be in the video episode. We're gonna shout it out at the end of the episode, and there's plenty of ways to reach out to us, and we would gladly have a fucking conversation with you, because any way that we can maybe help you understand the situation, and then you can and then maybe we can understand your side too. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I have no problem talking about this shit with people because I work construction.
Yeah.
So you know,
you got some characters that you work with
that are
on the opposite side of this political spectrum.
That are literally on the opposite side of me.
Mm-hmm.
As just me as a person. Like, we had a meeting the other day, and it was talking about like bridging and bonding over certain situations.
Yeah.
And certain people. And it had a trans man talking at some point. And she was over here. I don't know what's going on with her. Okay. So they had like a trans man literally talking during, like, they had like a slideshow, and we had to like go over all these things, and it was at one point it was a trans man like talking about how he was working with a company before that was, when he was in transition, would like make fun of him and like not really accept him, and then eventually like they started cutting his hours to the point where like he had like, it went from him having like only a certain amount of days to him only having a certain amount of hours, and then they just like completely laid him off.
Fuck, dude.
And then he got with Turner. And then he got with like a certain company.
I know what that sound means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'll send you some cocks.
yeah, thank you. He got with a certain company, and then, you know, they were accepting of him, and like it was very easy for him to get in with that company and to still be who he felt that he should be, you know, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. That the new company.
My fucking foreman started talking something I didn't even listen to, like, because literally he started talking. I was like, can you just shut up? Literally to my foreman.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we're like in this presentation that I know that he doesn't want to be there. I don't really want to fucking be there either, because literally everything that they talk about in that presentation, like, I already fucking know. Like,
for somebody who gets it, it's boils your blood that you have to sit there and be like, y'all are dumb that we have to sit through this.
But then I also know that they don't get this. The other people that I work with don't fucking get this, okay? And they don't want to listen to it either.
Yeah.
That's
frustrating,
when
too.
we were talking about, like, kind of like Black history and stuff like that, and literally one of the people that I work with was like, before we even started, said, but you can't change somebody's mind that doesn't want to be changed. Red flag. I was like, okay, so that shows me where y'all stand, you know? And I'm like, and my elevator operator is Black.
Yeah.
And I've talked to him a bunch about this shit. Like, me and him have had, like, multiple conversations about this. And that was something that we brought up. And that he brought up. And he was like, once he said that, he was like, I already knew. You're cool with me. Cool. But, like, anybody else? Like, how do I know that you're not going to, you know, be cool with anybody else? Or that, like, you're, like, cool with me. But that's because you started to get to know me.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, if you just see a random...
You just have this implicit
other person
bias walking around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hate watching those videos. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Because, like, for me, again, I already know all this shit. I already get it. Like, I know what all this shit's about. I've been doing this from the get-go. There's nothing that in these videos that you can tell me that I haven't already been doing and that I don't already understand.
Yeah.
For them, they don't even want to fucking listen to it. And so when he started to make a joke, when this trans man was like talking and telling a story and everything, I literally told my foreman to shut up. I was like, can you just shut up and just listen? I was like, fuck.
Try to absorb some of it.
Some of it. Like, anything. And, like, it frustrates me. It does.
Yeah, no, that's infuriating. And every time I see like news articles about like Starbucks having to hold another like employee sensitivity meeting or like sensitivity training shit, and it's like, man, that blows that people aren't on the same page. That we have to, and also that like it's because that's a double-sided coin where I get the people who are like rolling their eyes at that I don't get it, but I do see how people who are rolling their eyes at that presentation are doing it because they feel like the left has gone so far and has whined about so much that is some of it is very, very, very ridiculous. So people on the right get pushed even further, and then the people on the left get pushed even further, to the point where like both sides are just talking nonsense at each other and plugging their ears and not listening to each other. So like cancel culture getting out of hand and canceling people over dumb shit is kind of what I'm talking about. And then the right reacts to that being like, well, this is all fake then because y'all are just on some dumb shit. So then the people who are sitting through the sensitivity trainings just fucking cross their arms and roll their eyes because they think they're being shoveled fucking leftist brainwashing, which isn't the case. But I see how we've gotten to this point where people are so divided that they just want to go la 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 to the other side.
That's basically it. Like, seriously, that's basically what's like been going on, where they think that like they're being undermined now. And I'm like, but you don't see that what's happened in history and shit has led you to this point of you thinking this way? You're literally, and that was one of the things that, like, we literally had to talk about the history of why black people have been oppressed. Like, we had to sit down through that. And I'm like, even after that, like, you still don't think that, like, the reason that you think the way that you think is because of, like, this shit that's happened in the past and the way that you were raised? Do you not see these flags? How are you so oblivious? Because they don't. You can't change somebody's mind that doesn't want to be changed.
Yeah.
Again, that, bam, red flag. I was like, holy fuck. I was like, that was a huge red flag. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the nail in the coffin. That was what, like, fucking sold it for me. I was like, these are people, I might work with you, but I'll never be fucking friends with you.
Oh, it's
never, like...
It's the claiming to know things, like, that you can't possibly, given your time on this planet and what you know, you can't be sure.
No.
And, like,
No.
at least not that sure of yourself. Like, you need to have some questioning of your own, like, morals and faith and your center and, like, why people do things what they do.
But even with that, like, I've heard enough, like, black people talk about their own experiences and, like, how they feel to be like, it's not just one person talking shit and, like, making up shit. I mean, like, literally, one of the questions was, when you have interactions with a cop, do you feel comfortable? Everybody else said yes, except for our elevator operator, who was fucking black. He was like, no. And he's a concealed carry person, too.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, dude. Like...
Guns right advocate that also is kind of freaked out by the cops. Like,
yeah. Like, he loves guns, but, like, no, he's still scared of cops. He's
well,
like,
it's the biggest slap in the face that people say, like, the Black Lives Matter movement is a terrorist movement full of left-wing extremists. And when, like, that's... To boil an entire movement down to one thing like that ignores, like, the vast variety of people and belief systems that are within that movement. And also, like, people are protesting in the street. So you're just saying, like, that's for nothing. Like,
yeah.
To be like, there's no problem. Well, you're saying those people are angry to the point where they're out in the street getting pepper sprayed and, like, tear gassed by police.
For nothing.
Because
there's no problem.
They're angry over nothing.
They're angry over nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's been happening to their friends, to their family.
And sure,
people that they
some of the
know.
people that are involved in those groups are fucking crazy. Like, there's always going to be crazies on...
There's always extremists on every side. But when you're looking at the main message of everything and what BLM, like, actually means and what they mean by that, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that extreme.
The vast majority,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you say the same thing about, like, the KKK?
No, that's
extreme.
From the start is extreme, and everybody who's in that is extreme.
Is extreme.
Yeah. There's different levels of movement. yeah. Or even the Proud Boys, like,
that's extreme to me.
Yeah.
I think that's extreme. That is the Proud Boys. Well, to me seems like the modern KKK.
It is now. That was a movement that got out of hand. It was started by a guy called Gavin McInnes, who was like, he co-founded Vice. So, you know, Vice News, like, super left-wing now. But, like, they're the on-the-scene reporters who are, like, Vice is cool. I mean, they've published some lies that people criticize them for. But so he co-founded that and created this movement called Proud Boys, where it was just about, like, kind of, what's the guy who talks like Kermit the Frog that gets called, like, the alternative right-wing, alt-right?
Ben Shapiro?
No, he's got that high-pitched nasally voice.
Yeah.
I can't remember his fucking name. Doesn't matter. But it was about being, like, just cleaning your room, being responsible, like, look at your friend group, like, dress nice, and you'll live a better life. Was kind of how that all started. So Gavin McInnes is this guy who, like, always has his hair done real nice, is always wearing a fucking suit, always. You would like what the original message was. But it
sounds like it, actually. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I like to dress nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, a lot
like
of
to
it was
be
just
like,
being, like, a responsible man is what it was.
Be a proud man.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
It's not
And
proud boy. It's like you just want to be a proud man.
take account of your life and take responsibility for the things that you've built around you.
Exactly. That sounds like proud man.
Yeah, so that's what it started as, and then quickly, because Gavin McInnes is a bit of like a troll, just a little bit. Like he has that like mischievous side to him, and he would add things in there that like got co-opted by people who would take it too far. And it eventually became a white supremacist movement.
Oh my God! How does it get? I hope the banana cult never gets to that point. You know.
Well, that's the same thing that happened with the fucking. I really fucking hope not.
I will kill myself if the banana cult ever gets to at some point. There's no way.
No.
There's no way because we
if anything, we're Chinese supremacists because yep, never mind. Yay! You're allowed to be racist to Chinese people. Not with this fucking president.
Trump would agree with this.
Yeah. I didn't say that. It's on recording. Didn't say it.
Who do you think is gonna win the election? 2020.
Fuck, dude.
Who do you think is gonna win, bro?
November 3rd is so scary.
Who do you think is gonna win?
Biden. I think Biden's gonna win.
You think so?
I've gone back and forth with this.
I'm gonna vote for Biden.
Yeah, no, I'm voting for Biden reluctantly.
I think that Trump's still gonna win. I hate to say it.
I do have a giant fear that he could possibly win. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna call it that Trump's gonna win.
I've been reassured by people who know how like the Electoral College and like how the numbers are looking right now that like he would have to get every red state that matters to the Electoral College, and then he would have to get Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. I keep fucking that up.
In the beginning, in 2016, everybody said
no, that's
Hillary
true.
was gonna win over a fucking landslide, and they were like, Trump is not gonna fucking win. He's not gonna get fucking anything. And then literally on election day, it happened, and Trump fucking won.
I think it's
So
a little
I'm telling
different
you
though.
Right now,
I think it's a little different.
I don't think it's different.
Well, because nobody knew what to expect from Trump, and now he's been in office for 4 years, and the people who were like kind of on the wall or on the fence that's terrible, on the fence about Trump. I'm just full of bad racism tonight. Fucking the people who were on the fence about Trump and voted for him anyway, after 4 years, I think there's going to be a significant chunk of those people who are like, that was a bad idea. Because now we know what that is. And it's not, he didn't accomplish much. And the things he promised, he didn't really get done. And the bad things that he didn't really do a whole lot of bad things other than just, like, wreck all of the traditions of the office.
But I hear, like, Trump supporters being like, Trump did everything right. Trump has done so much.
He hasn't done that fucking much.
Trump has done so much for this country, bro. Like,
and he's done more
Trump
bad
has been
than he's
amazing,
done good.
bro. But Trump supporters don't believe that shit.
No.
They don't
care
think
that he
that
lies,
way.
so they don't think
they
that the lies is a bad
they don't
thing.
even think that he lies, bro. They think that he has done everything fucking right, that he is the best fucking president that we've ever fucking had. He is the fucking A1 sauce of presidents, and that, like, there's nobody after him is ever going to be as good as fucking Trump is.
Yeah.
He's done nothing wrong. He's done so much for this fucking country. This country is a million times better because of fucking Trump. These are Trump supporters right now.
Yeah.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
CAG 2020.
That's what scares me.
No, that freaks me out too. And even if Biden wins, I'm still freaked out by it. Because
okay.
Trump's just been seeding this whole thing of like the election's going to be a sham.
That was my whole thing with talking to the one worker that I had, and I told the story about him and like what happened with him and everything.
Yep.
But I'm like,
listen to the last couple episodes.
I also want you to know that I don't support Biden either.
Yeah.
Like I don't support either one of them. They're both fucking crooked, fucked up people.
Yeah.
From the get go.
Did you see that Biden repeated, because they did town halls recently, where Trump did an hour and Biden did an hour and a half, just like taking questions and answering them town hall.
Yeah.
And Biden repeated the whole thing about instead of shooting black people in the back as they're running away, that we should just shoot them in the leg. So a lot of people have been saying leg 2020.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
like,
he's also terrible.
Also, how old is Biden?
He's a little older than Trump. Yeah, Trump's 75.
74.
74, yeah.
74.
Yeah.
Trump is 74. Biden is 77.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really think that people that are in their fucking 70s should be running our country?
I think there's a lot of wisdom, but I don't think...
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
But listen to my counter.
I'm going to agree with your counter. You already know that.
I get it.
Yeah.
that they have a lot of wisdom, but I still think that after like 50, 60 years old, your mind starts to go. 70, your mind is definitely going, bro. That's human nature.
Well,
that is in our genetics that once you hit like 50, everything from that point on is downhill, my dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything from there is downhill.
Well, they say
you are losing shit after 50.
You start degenerating, like you start like losing function in your 30s, and you start dying like actively in your 40s.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
anything after 50 is like, nah, for real though. You're on your way to dying.
Yeah.
And then we're having to vote on people who are 77 and 74. And it's like, how the fuck can I even know that, like, you are literally not just being told what to say?
Well, I also think there's...
Because you can't even make your own fucking sentences up.
Yeah, no, that's...
Biden?
Anytime he says, hold on, and another thing, you just
It's
know
off.
Yeah.
It's off the rails, bro. He doesn't know what he's saying anymore.
I still get lost on that whole speech he gave, like, maybe 6-8 months back, where he was talking about little kids pulling on his leg hair in the pool or some shit, and he was talking about, like, this black gangster guy that he knew. I'll send you that clip.
Please.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. He talked about little kids pulling on his leg hair in the pool and calling him Uncle Joe. Anyway... And was somehow relating that to race matters. Like, somehow that was a story about not being racist.
What?
Yeah. So, no, he's a bad candidate, and people that old shouldn't be candidates, and I agree with you. But I also think part of it is that, like, when you're that old, like, it's the thing that I run into with my grandma and elderly people in my family, where, like, they're just set in their ways at a certain point. Where, like, as a lot of people, when they get to a certain point in their life, they just stop accepting new things, and they decide that they've figured it out.
Yeah.
And I think, like, a lot of the politicians that are at that age are the same way, where they're like, the world was this way when I was in my prime, so I'm going to react to the world now as if I were still in my prime then, and everything's still the same, and I'm running off that momentum.
Yeah.
And the world's rapidly changing. Like, our government can't keep up with the internet. Like, we're still trying to figure out how to regulate that.
And honestly, I think that, like, with our generation, that when we get to our 70s, that we're not going to be like that.
No, things are changing too quickly now. People have learned that they have to keep the fuck up.
Yeah, I think that, like, us now and our generation and maybe the generation before us,
yeah,
a little bit. Like, some of those people are going to be on our wavelength, but especially with us, with our generation, where we've realized that, like, your mind can be changed. Like, you're not in a set way. Like, once you learn new information, like, your mind can be changed, and that's okay. To know that, like, you might have thought you've been right, but it's okay to say that you were wrong. And you're like, I've learned new information, and then this is what I think now.
I've
and
thought
that's
about
okay.
I've thought about this recently, and I blew my own mind. I think part of that is because things didn't change as quickly before as they do now, and there wasn't as much access to information.
Internet is definitely a huge aspect.
So, like,
as to that.
people like my grandfather or my dad's pretty good about changing his mind, but people who are, like, in that age bracket, like, they just didn't have things constantly being updated the way we do. So, like, when a thing was the thing, you were like, well, that's the thing forever now. Like, when Pluto became not a planet anymore, the people who took that side and agreed with scientists, as they should, because it's a subplanet.
Yeah.
The people who took that side, it's just that way forever now. And then there was people, obviously, who were like, well, no, Pluto's still a fucking planet. And it's because that hadn't changed for fucking decades upon decades. But things change daily now. Like,
seriously.
And things, especially with this coronavirus shit, like, nobody's on the same page. People are spreading misinformation everywhere, including our own government. So, like, I think part of the reason that people are so willing to just be, like, flippy-floppy, as you would call it, politically nowadays is because, like, we have to be. Like, the only way to stay on top of things is to keep updating your information.
I definitely think it's because of the internet, though.
Yeah.
Like, that is a huge disadvantage that we have now, is that we can upload to the internet at a moment. Like, at a snap of the finger. And you can post whatever the fuck you want. And people can choose to believe that. And then, like, next thing you know, you've got, like, 1 million people that are choosing to believe what you said is right, even though it's misinformation.
Yeah.
And then, like, other people out of that 1 million people are like, well, there's 1 million people that are behind this that think that this is right information, so it's got to be right, and they just fucking follow it without ever doing their own research. and actually looking into things, and then even then actually looking into things, searching on the internet, how do you know what you're looking at is actually real and not just following the narrative?
Yeah,
and
well,
following what like general public would want to see. And there's a I hate to say this, but there's a 21 Pilots song that's like, we don't believe what's on TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's what we want to see. And, like, that is, like, I feel like our generation is, we don't believe what's on TV. Because it's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Because even though I want to see it, and that I want to believe that that's right, I'm still not going to believe it. I still have this, like, back of my mind where I'm like, I need to dive deep into this. And even then, it's like, unless I commit my life, basically now.
A few hours.
Commit my life to figuring out if all of this shit is real. Being a politician, yeah, is a fucking job, dude. That's a lifelong fucking job.
Yeah.
If you become a politician or anybody that's in somewhat of politics, you will drive yourself mad having a construction job and then trying to be into politics. You either choose one or the fucking other. And that's why I wear construction and don't know shit about politics.
Well, that's why they get corrupt, too, is because, like, it's just such a deep web of... You're ingrained in a culture at that point once you're deep enough into it.
Well,
so
it's like, for one subject, you have 72 pages of, like, shit. And it's like, the normal person like me or you is not going to read through fucking 72 pages of something for one law when we also have 500 other laws that we have to, like, vote on and know what the fuck we're talking about and, like, know what that law actually means and all the fine print that goes into that law. Like, we don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
For a regular person that's working a 40-hour job or even more than a 40-hour job, like, we literally don't have the time to get into that. And that's what's fucked up. It is fucked up.
The bureaucracy of it is a major problem.
Yeah.
Like, our government should be a little more transparent, easy for the regular person to understand, and also for our politicians to just handle on a daily basis. Because I do think like how messy the system is why people become corrupt and complacent to what the system is. But we can't trust
anybody to not put some sly shit in there.
Oh no, they do that all the time.
There's literally not one person on either side, left or right, Republican or Democrat. I'm talking to everybody here. There's not literally one person that we can trust to not put some sly shit in there or to try and put some sly shit into there. And that, honestly, is human nature. Power corrupts people.
Yeah.
That's basically all we're looking at here.
Well, and if you have a system that's so overly complicated for the average person to understand that you can just hide, like, evil and mischief and fucking little corruptions in there.
Even if they did read it, if they didn't have a specific understanding of what they're actually reading, they're not even going to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, this administration has proven that completely. Is that you can just get away with tons of little financial shit like that, and people don't really know. They don't care enough to know what's actually why that's bad.
That's scary, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I go off the point of, like, no matter what the fuck happens, I'm gonna make sure that I can make it. Like, I'll do whatever the fuck I can to make sure that I make it. Like, just, if I gotta slide my way through some fucking shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because there's always gonna be sly shit in the fucking government. So, like, if there's any way that I can kind of slide my own shit in there, do what I need to do, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because they do the same shit. If I get in trouble for it, whatever. I at least fucking tried, dude. Like, that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the good news is that the numbers that we have from states that have already, like, done some calculations on the early voting numbers is that, like, they're coming out in record numbers. Like, it's a couple 100,000 more people voting in every state than they have in the past couple decades.
That's what's up.
And it's because people are energized this time around, be it either side. Like, if the people who like Trump really like Trump, and the people who don't like Trump really don't like him. So it'll definitely be interesting in what happens either way, whoever wins.
I think so too, but I also think that even if Trump doesn't win, shit's going down. No matter
if Trump doesn't win, that's the worst.
No.
I actually think that's the worst case scenario.
You think that's worse?
I think if Trump...
I think that either way that it goes, shit's going down.
I think more life will be lost if Trump loses.
Oh.
I think that's why I think that's worst.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that if Trump wins, it's not going to be life losses, but there's going to be more rioting.
There's be more rioting, and there'll be more like anti-police shit. There'll be more clashes between protesters.
No, for sure. Yeah, but I think that if Trump loses, it's going to be people like that one fucking dude that are just out in the middle of the street. The first person that they can see, they're going to just start fucking shooting.
Well, there's people who have said, like, the Proud Boys or, like, I can't think of the name of the other group. It was, like, White Liberation Front or something fucking crazy like that. But those people have said openly that they're, like, ready for the violence. Or even people that I listen to for fun, like Alex Jones, is openly and actively saying to his followers that we're going to need to take it to them in the streets now. Like, Alex Jones's rhetoric, like, if anybody gets a chance to listen to his show lately, is fucking crazy. It's sad and wild and scary.
You think the violence is going to solve your issue? You think that
Alex Jones seems to think that he's a warrior for Christ, and that the only way to take it to these Democrats who are literal demons is that we have to take it to them, and we are the vectors of God who are ridding evil from the world. So by going out and shooting Democrats...
if Biden gets elected, I should be afraid for my life.
Because demons are trying to take your children and rape them.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so that's what Alex Jones is on lately.
And the only way that you can find him is to go on his own fucking website.
Band.video.com.
Shut the fuck up! Why would you say it? Why would you say it?
High five!
No!
High five!
No, I'm not high-fiving that.
High five!
I am not high-fiving that. I am not high-fiving that. You're a piece of shit for even fucking repeating that shit on the show.
I love Alex Jones.
I'm bleeping the fuck out of that shit. You best believe, dude. I'm gonna find specific point. I'm gonna bleep the fuck out of it.
Listen to the audio episode if you want, uncensored. Yeah, no, it's scary. This election's gonna be unprecedented.
Everything is just scary.
Yeah.
Regardless of who wins, it's gonna be scary for everybody. Because even if Trump does win and like people go out and riot, it's going to be those other people who are those same people that we're afraid of if Biden were to win, that are like, we're going to take to the streets, that they're going to be like, we're still going to take to the streets because we're going to protect our president.
Yeah. Well, I also think if Trump wins, too, there's going to be plenty of people on the left who, less so, but have similar reactions of the extreme right, where they would also do the bad thing and take it too far. Regardless whoever wins, I'm worried about that happening. I pray to God it doesn't. But I think it's more likely if Biden wins that right-wing extremists will take it to violence because they're the ones who have all the fucking guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right-wing terrorism, I'm going to call it terrorism instead of militia groups or, like, angry, disturbed white people. Like, I don't know why we don't just call that terrorist acts when it's politically based and, like, you're killing people to cause fear and to achieve a political goal. That's what it is.
That's literally what terrorism.
Yeah. That's been very common the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Black Lives Matter is not a terrorist group.
No, that's fucking so. There are some people, and I will say there are people in Black Lives Matter who are fucking out of their mind. But
there's extremists on every fucking end.
That does not identify the whole movement.
But that is not. It does not.
Yeah.
And people can use that same point with like the cops.
Yeah.
Not all cops are bad. Yeah, you're right. Not
but the
all
way
cops
policing
are bad.
is handled in America has created a system where they can get away with this type of shit, and it's bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's bad. Yeah, you're right. Not all cops are bad, but I bet your fucking ass that they'll support their own fucking cops.
Yeah.
Even if they do something bad, and they might not be bad themselves, but they work with that motherfucker, and they're like, I'm going to support him, and I'm going to believe that what he did was right.
Officers like Michael A. Wood Jr., who left, it wasn't Brooklyn, Baltimore, who left the Baltimore Police Department to become a police rights, or not police rights, but like a police reform activist. He saw that in Baltimore, one of the worst policed areas in the whole country and like highest crime rates, that they've been experiencing the same crime in the same spots and been policing it the same way for literally 60, 80, 100 plus years in those same precincts, and nothing has changed. So they're not fixing a problem, they're just continuing to allow and reciprocate the problem in a neighborhood.
They're just continuing to make money off of that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Is really the whole issue.
They're continuing the way our justice system corruptly works in the country. It's not actually solving any problems.
No.
Yeah.
Because all the money that they put into policing those neighborhoods and shit like that, they could put into actually helping out those neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real talk. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, and I've had somebody
I'll bet you're a socialist then.
I have somebody in my own family that was like, defunding the police, you have no idea what it means to defund the police. And I'm like, that's... When you think of defund the police, what do you think of? For you. Wes? Cowman. What do you think of when you think of defund the police?
Defund the police for me is taking their already over-bloated budget, where we have essentially a militarized police force in some areas where they have literal tanks and fully automatic weapons that they shouldn't have. We cut that budget and put a lot of that funding into retraining them to be better, and then the rest of that money goes into putting social programs in for the community that those police were abusing for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I don't want to completely disband policing. I think that it does serve a purpose in society, just not the way we currently do it.
See, and that's the whole thing too.
Yeah.
It's either like you are like a Black Lives Matter person, you're like defund the police, or you're like I support the police, like I'm a Blue Lives Matter person. There's a middle ground in there, and I feel like that's what like most people miss.
Yeah.
Same thing with our two-party system. You're either left or you're fucking right. That's a huge fucking issue right there.
Yeah.
There is no left or right way of doing shit. It's not that way.
A point
because don't get me wrong, I believe that police should be there. Police do help out. Now, are we funding in areas where we shouldn't be, and we're not funding in areas where we shouldn't be? Yes, that's the issue. That's what it is. Police should be there, but also police should also not be killing innocent people. Now, there should also be things in place to help people in poverty help get themselves out of poverty.
Yeah, poverty is what causes a lot of crime.
If you really want to get yourself out of a bad situation, because everybody gets in a bad situation, and me and you both know that.
Mm-hmm.
We both have been in bad situations, and there's a way to go about it. And if we really want to get out of that, there should be outlets for people to be able to do that. Everybody.
Yeah.
Every single person. There should be outlets for people to do that shit. And we are not funding those things. That is the major issue right there. Because people think that there are these other outlets that'll somewhat help them. And in the moment, maybe yes, it'll help you get some money. But in the end run, in the way that society is run, it's not going to help you. It might help you in that moment, in that day, in that week, in that month, but in the long run of years to come, it's not going to help you out. Unless you could be a person that like really does make it work for you, but there's very few and far between that actually do that, because they get trapped in that kind of lifestyle and shit like that. And then you end up fucking your life up and getting caught, and then you spend years in jail. But there should be more avenues for people to take. Like, we should be able to help people who are homeless and to give them free housing. When we're spending like $1.2 million in our state's policing to have riot gear that is not necessarily like needed.
Yeah.
They just get it every single year. They just get the same amount of money every single fucking year for shit that they don't need, that just gets like put into a stockpile.
And if they don't spend that money, their budget gets slashed for the next year. So they're almost required to be like, let's buy all this shit we don't need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just keep buying it. It just keeps getting stockpiled, and they're like, we don't use it. I mean, maybe necessarily now they do use it, but it's for the wrong reason. Like, it's not that they need to use it. Like, if it was peaceful protest, but yet you are telling them to fucking leave, and then you throw fucking tear gas at them, like, you're inciting violence. That's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
If it's a peaceful protest and yet you intervene with that, regardless of how late it goes. There should not be a fucking curfew on that shit. In my opinion. This is my opinion on that.
Yeah,
So,
putting
like,
rules on a protest seems pretty oxymoronical, where
Yeah.
it's like that's the opposite of what a protest is.
You can protest until 10 o'clock, and then after that, you need to go home. No, that's not what a fucking protest is about.
Yeah.
Especially a peaceful protest. Do I also agree that we should not be destroying the community also that you are trying to protect? No. Peaceful protest is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There shouldn't, that doesn't end. That shit can go till, it could be a seven day thing.
Yeah.
Continuous. Where there's continuously, it doesn't matter how long that shit runs, where people, interchange out, and it's continuing. As long as it's peaceful, do what you need to do. Because that's really going to hit people. Destroying the community, I do agree, is not the way to go. Because there's literally been, when we're talking about, the Black Lives community protests, there's been Black-owned businesses that have been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad.
Yeah,
but
it
I
sucks.
also do feel like that's not Black people either.
No, there's been a lot of white people, yeah.
The white people that
Or
are
any
thinking
people.
that they are doing the right thing. But then they also, you haven't done enough research.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
really know
But there's
what
also
you're trying
people
to
who
do.
take advantage of when there's chaos in the streets and just hop in and cause
Yeah.
destruction because they think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they're just angry, There's angry people who hop into the movement and make it look bad. And to the people who say, all the violence is coming from the left and all these protests is a sign that, the left has lost its mind. It's well, if you actually watch the people who are on the ground, there's plenty of people who you can follow on Twitter and watch, firsthand videos of what's going on. A lot of it is, right-wing protesters antagonizing people to the point where it does cause violence. And then you'll see that, the people on the left who have been out in the street from day one are actually, really well prepared and good at this now. Where, there was a video from a few weeks back from Portland, Oregon, where the right, Proud Boys and, right-wing movement and all that shit, where guns rights activists and militias were there, all carrying openly weapons. And they were throwing tear gas at the leftists, but were doing it downwind from them. So they tear gassed themselves and then all had to run away. And then there was just a crowd of leftists who knew what to do, had gas masks ready, and the proper ones, not just COVID masks where it was still getting through and fucking these people. So it's a lot of the chaos that's coming is from people who don't know how to protest, and those people are the people who are responding to the people who were there for first, which was the Black Lives Matter and Antifa and the people who were actually there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So a lot of the chaos is because the police overreacting, because the right overreacting, and that's what's causing a lot of the violence. And of course, there's the few single people that you can single out from the left wing side that are bad actors. There's the guy who shot the person in
two people.
Yeah, in California. And obviously that shit's awful as well, but you can't paint
You know that he raised $200,000 or something like that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it might have been 20 grand, but people raise a good amount of money. I can't remember exactly what it was. It definitely wasn't 2 grand, but it might have been 20 grand, but something.
Yeah.
To get him out of jail.
Yeah. I can see that in the current there's so much chaos happening and so much availability of being able to speak your opinion on the internet and send money to support different groups and ideas that it doesn't surprise me that a bunch of people send a bunch of money.
Yeah.
It's just when we break it down to the sides of left versus right and then talk about it that way
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Though. That's the main
You're missing
problem.
so much nuance.
With
You're missing
everything.
that $20,000 that got sent to that guy. How do you account for that? Is that left or right?
I hate that we're a two-party system.
Yeah.
Because it's not like that anymore. It's not.
Definitely not.
It might have been 100, 200,
It wasn't
300,
even back then,
400
but it
years
was
ago.
more manageable for them to make it seem that way back
Exactly.
then.
But now, no. We're not a two-party system anymore. That's not how our world works.
Yeah.
There is so much that's going on now, and that's the issue too. Where like even with a two-party system, where like nobody can fucking agree on anything anymore.
Yeah.
They just think that they do. You're like, and then you're like, I pick a side. You know?
If you give people,
you're like, there's so many fucking things that are in between everything that you're just like, I pick this side.
if you give people two options, that makes it real easy for them to be like, I can't believe you picked the other thing than what I picked. If you give people 10 options, it makes it a lot harder for them to be mad.
Exactly.
And they have to be more informed because there's 10 fucking options. That solves a lot of problems right there.
No, but it should technically be that way, especially now.
Yeah, it
Like-
should. That's what I'm saying. Is like that would solve a lot of the problems if there was more options and there was more parties that, and also ranked choice voting, which I've talked about before, where like people vote for who they want first, and if that person doesn't get a majority of votes, so your ballot would be who do you like the most, and then who do you like the second most, and who do you like the third most, and then everybody fills out their ballots the same way. And if the person who ends up in your first doesn't get the majority of votes, then it goes to your second, and whoever gets the majority of votes for that. So like they get ranked out nationally that way. So then people's like, instead of being like the lesser of two evils, where it's like you either get Trump or you either get Biden, you could end up with somebody where you're like, well, I liked them the third best, and I'm okay with that choice, rather than like polar opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people would have more variety, and there'd be more middle ground if you allowed people to be like, this would be my second option, this would be my third option, and then tally up votes that way. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree
Other
with that.
countries do it that way. A few other countries do, and it works pretty fucking well. And we just don't
Yeah,
do it
but
because
we're
there's
a
a lot of
fucking
money in what we
two-party
do.
system right now.
There's a lot of money in that.
And also, I've talked to somebody about this on a Discord, like our national debt, and like, can we even call it a debt anymore? Is it even a debt? Because we're so far in debt that there's no way that we could ever pay that.
I don't think debt's the right word for it either.
That's what I said.
Because
it's not a debt. It's
it
more,
implies that we're going to pay it back.
That is literally what I said.
Yeah.
I literally was like, a debt implies that you're gonna pay that back.
No.
And we are not. There's no fucking way. It would take over. It would take thousands of years, like hundreds of thousands of years, for us to pay back. What is it now? I think the last time I checked, it was like something in the trillions.
It's gotta. I don't know what the number would be.
I can actually look that up.
Pull up the national debt counter.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. The thing with that is, I think we should call it something like the national fucking power deficit, or the national I owe you favors, or like influence instead of debt. We should call it influence. Like, we have $21 trillion in influence owed to China. Like, because it's not something we're ever going to pay back. It's just something that, like, we trade asset and value with other countries.
Yeah, we are $27 trillion in national debt.
A lot of that to China, a lot of that to Russia.
That's hundreds, thousands.
A lot of that to the Middle East.
Billions, and then trillions. So the U.S. national debt right now is at $27 trillion.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, and that's not a number that, like, unless you were paying it back trillions of times, is going to get solved any time soon. Like, if you paid back $1 trillion a year, it would take us 27 years, but that's never
going to happen.
Yeah.
No, it's not a debt anymore.
Yeah.
It's not. That's, a debt implies that you will pay it back, and that's literally what I brought up. I was like,
no, that number is going to be higher in 27 years.
It's going to continue to keep growing.
Yeah.
So, like, why do you call it a debt? Like,
we should have a new word for what that is.
It's not a debt.
It's an
it's
an economical poker chip.
Me and you have had debts between each other.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, we've asked each other for money. Where we've been like, hey, man, can I borrow, a certain amount of money? Okay, well, now we have a debt to each other. And, like, we pay that shit back. Because we're like, we care about each other. We're gonna pay that. We know for a fact if we borrow some money from each other and make it a debt, then we're gonna pay that shit back.
And that's before even borrowing on a borrow
You
already.
know,
You know, like
like-
that's the one transaction.
That
It's
is
not
one transaction.
It's not decades and decades of fucking.
It's not a debt anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna pay that shit back ever. And what makes up the national debt? Either there's a whole bunch of shit. There's 3 certain types of shit that I was like reading up on that like goes into what makes the national debt.
Yeah.
We're never gonna pay that shit back to whatever it is that we're gonna pay it back to. It's not gonna happen ever.
Yeah.
You might as well stop that counter and just be like, it's just not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just more proof that like the system we're built on is just influence and power, and that we use these numbers to demand influence and power. And
But
that's
how
really
can
all.
you demand influence and power when you're technically quote unquote in debt?
Well, that's what the debt is. We have enough influence and power in the world that you continue to lend us money, and we continue to not pay it back. And that number is like a symbol of that relationship that we have with other countries and our position on the global stage. It's less like an IOU and more this is who we are on the global stage.
That's saddening.
It's very upsetting when you realize that that's most of how economics and politics work, is that it is based on the money that gets passed around.
That basically we're like a country who's like, you're gonna keep continuing to give us money from another country, even though full well knowing that we're not gonna give that shit back to you.
Other
no matter
countries
what.
are in debt to us as well. Like they also have a debt counter running to other countries. It's same globally.
But is it anywhere close to what our?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's information that we don't know.
Yeah.
We could be like, we don't know, like what the kind of like.
I'll admit when I don't know.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I literally just looked up the U.S. debt counter though. Like I'm looking at actually, it is the like real-time debt counter, and it is continuing to go up.
I wonder whose job it is to calculate that. Like, how do they? Is that? I'm sure it's just an algorithm at this point.
It's a USDebtClock.org.
Yeah, well, that's one of those organizations that freaks me out. Like, the National Doomsday Committee that moves the doomsday clock closer to midnight every year. It reminds me of those people. On a similar political note that I wanted to talk about before we
by all means, please.
I just wanted to rage a little bit that Hillary Clinton, meanwhile during all of this, after having lost the 2016 election, went on for about 2 years to just complain about it, do nothing that benefited the movement against Trump, and actually reinforce his base even more and make Trump an even bigger power. Now, instead of doing anything to help politically, has just continued to be the most terrible person, married to one of the most terrible political candidates we've ever had in American history, has a podcast on the iHeartRadio network, and it plays political ads and podcast ads on a lot of my favorite podcasts. So I have to listen to Hillary Clinton tell me to listen to her podcast all the time, and it makes me want to shoot myself in the fucking dick. Like,
I bet. See, again, this goes back into the whole thing where like I feel like with me and you, we're kind of one and the same where it comes to, like, we're not Republican and we're not Democrat. Like, we're not left and we're not right. Like,
no,
on either thing.
I just look at the facts. That's
exactly
what I try to do.
We just try and look at like what the facts as far as having our own lives we can see, and as not being like our full lives are not committed to like figuring out what politics are.
I have
like,
a bit of a bias. I'm in a bit of a bubble, but I try to be as reasonable and rational as possible.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I would say that I lean a little bit more demographic, like, and that's just kind of the way that I go.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but I'm still feel like I'm more like in the middle. I look at every situation and go morally off of what I would believe in.
Yeah.
And I'm not neither left or right. I am in the middle. I am literally like what I believe is right on every situation. I'm not going to go on whatever like Republicans solely believe in or what Democrats solely believe in. Like, I'm going to go off of what I believe is morally right.
Yeah.
That's why I say I'm in the middle. And I feel like you kind of feel the same way, where we just kind of look at the facts.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah, the reason Trump won 2016 was because the Electoral College leans has a bias towards rural communities, and and that's built into the system because rural communities have less of a population. So that was meant to balance out big city centers who are mostly Democratic from always winning the elections because they have a higher population density, therefore they can have more representation. So they would always win the elections if we did it that way. That's what the Electoral College is for. But the reason Trump won, even though he didn't win the majority of the popular vote, was because he won the majority of red states with his populist rhetoric of saying, like, we're going to bring the little men up, we're going to end all this corruption. And the past 4 years, all he's done is just destroy all those systems and make it even worse. He hasn't fixed anything. He's just wrecked the whole fucking thing.
But people will still say that he has fixed it.
Well, that's somehow draining the swamp.
No, he's fixed it, bro.
No.
What do you mean?
He's grinded it to a halt and pushed bad things through while doing
man.
it. Yeah.
He's gotten rid of multiple people that were corrupt. And he's put people in that are not corrupt at all.
If you're to believe QAnon, he's getting ready to round up all the demonic pedophiles that run the deep state and arrest Obama and Hillary and put them in prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
That's coming, like, tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally believe that.
I just read that Q drop before I came over.
No, yeah, I totally believe that. Like, Trump is, like, the best thing that's ever happened to us, bro. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, he is definitely the best president.
People are going to hate this last half of the
ever
episode.
He's the best president we've ever fucking had.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, he's gotten all the corrupt people out, and he's added nothing but non-corrupt people.
Oh,
like,
William Barr, our Attorney General.
Bruh.
The guy who did the cover-ups for Clinton and for Benghazi and for Bush and all that. The guy who did the Bush cover-ups.
That guy
I'm pretty sure he was also involved with the Richard Nixon cover-ups. That guy.
He's not corrupt at all, bro.
I think he helped. He was hired for the cover-up. He's not corrupt.
He's not corrupt, bro. He's not. And Trump has done that for us, okay? And also, just so you know, there was this flat.
No, dude, it's a donut. We've been over this.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There's a donut.
It's a squish cylinder with a hole in the center.
I couldn't hold it any longer. Oh, my God.
No, dude, it's ridiculous. And Hillary Clinton is talking into a mic with a fucking pot. And she says the thing that all the coronavirus ads said is in these uncertain times, and now more than ever, we need a stable center voice to listen to tell us what's right and wrong, and that needs to be Hillary Clinton's podcast.
Oh my fucking God, dude! But we don't have that. There's no fucking politician right now.
I mean, AOC.
In any way, no.
Even
AOC.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lean towards that.
Well,
there's literally no fucking politician.
What I was gonna say
that I could ever believe in right now
is it'll be interesting in the next 10 years to see her become awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. Is that
it's.
All the people that were like faithful and like rah-rahing around now are also gonna fall into the chaos that we're dealing with. I'd hope not, but
no, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like it's just only gonna get worse from here. Literally, it's only gonna get worse.
Well, it's a pendulum, and it started out swinging a little bit left, right, and now we're swinging so far extreme on both sides that it's about to swing off the fucking the bolt in the middle that's holding it all together. Yeah,
it's gonna break, and it's just gonna be.
We're a Ferris wheel that's just rolling away and stomping people on the fucking circus.
Literally,
yeah,
literally on the boardwalk, people are getting fucking killed from that Ferris wheel. That's what it's gonna be. I'm literally I'm gonna call it now. That we are getting to a point, and after watching Hamilton, and
you sound like you just watched Hamilton.
I definitely did watch Hamilton, and it made me think, and I was like, no, shit's fucked.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, this is how that shit went down with them, even back then, and now we're at this point. Nah, we're fucked.
Do you realize that things weren't that much different, and that shit was always fucking crazy?
Shit was always fucked up.
Yeah,
and it's only getting more fucked up. And I feel bad, honestly, like, even having a child at this point. Because I'm like, fuck.
When you said, I feel bad, I knew that was where that was going immediately.
Yeah.
I had two of them. I'm a terrible person.
You know, because I'm like, my child's not going to do anything that's going to be, like, political to, like, really, like, help out. My child's going to be, like, a drummer or an MMA fighter. I don't know. Because she likes fucking hitting people. So, like... Either I'm gonna get her into being a percussionist and drumming, or she's gonna become an MMA fighter. And like, neither one of those things are really gonna help their country out. They're just gonna be entertainment. So like, I don't know. I didn't build a family upon politics, so like,
Avi's gonna be a social media influencer, and Oliver's gonna be one of those guys who invents a new version of porn that involves fruit.
That's funny.
It's just true. That's where my
It
kids
is
are headed.
so fucking true, though. Like, that's why it's funny.
Yeah.
No, but for sure.
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad, but like, what else can I do? You know, like this is our life, to procreate. That is the meaning of our life, is to continue the human race.
I think of it like how the universe has created so many things, and like we're sitting in the spiral arm of galaxy, and like it's created our lives and our existence, but it also created black holes, and that's like it came from the same thing. Like, I don't know if there was any purpose to it, or like if something started it, but it created this force of like creation and beauty and knowledge and existence, and like we're able to like look at ourselves and see what's going on and try to understand the universe as a whole. But at the same time, there's this like unknowable destructive force that we don't fully understand, that's like billions or trillions of times the density of our sun. Like, there's these giant black holes that are supermassive, that are like trillions of times the solar mass of our sun, that are just devouring multiple. They found one recently that I was reading an article about that was like it was the furthest back one they've ever seen, where it was like eating galaxies that had formed at the beginning of the creation of the universe, and it was like this cluster of like early galaxies that had just gotten sucked into this thing like early on after the Big Bang, and are just being slowly eaten over eon and eon of time, like just still to this day. I think humans are the fucking same. Like, it's all part of the same thing. Like, we are destroying ourselves slowly.
No,
like,
I was like wondering where you were going with this, and then like
we create and we make amazing things, and like we have all this amazing stuff
like
that
this
comes out of this
black hole that's on the side. This is like slowly sucking all that shit in.
It's just gonna set us back to zero, and we're gonna have to restart. And we might be something else when we restart, but that's what it is.
Honestly, I feel like we are maybe a century ahead of that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think that right now we're in a very pivotal moment, but we're not that close to it either.
Yeah.
To where like setting back to zero, because like you said, like it's slowly over eons of like happening. I think that we, as a human race, are like a century above of like nuking everybody.
Yeah.
And then there's only a certain select few of those power people, and then they're gonna have to figure it out. And you know what? During a nuclear holocaust, like, bruh, you're gonna get down to some shit. You're gonna get real fucking humble, real fucking quick, and it's gonna start over all over again. Like, you're gonna have to realize that like there's no fucking land that you can go on that's not fucking radioactive, because we nuked everything.
Yeah.
So, like, it's going to end up happening at some point, I think. This is just me talking out my ass. But, like, who knows? Maybe fucking a century from now, somebody's going to listen to this podcast and be like, holy shit, that banana was right.
That banana was right. Yeah, I truly believe that we're on a path of destroying ourselves. And it's built into the system. Like, that's just how we're gonna go, and that's even just built into the universe itself. Like, there's gonna be a point where there's no more energy transferring between particles anymore, and that's called the heat death of the universe. Everything is so far apart and so cold that literally energy transfer stops working, and the whole thing collapses back into itself. That's where
the Big Bang?
It's the reverse of the Big Bang, and that's just theoretical. Like, it might not collapse into itself. It might just be the permanent end of everything.
But would it collapsing it into itself create like the Big Bang? Like,
that is one theory.
Of that, like,
yeah,
that happening would create the Big Bang.
That is one theory that theoretical physicists have, is that the universe is basically a computer being turned off and back on, where like
that
it resets.
Makes so much fucking sense, bro.
Yeah.
To me,
I
so
like
sorry.
that theory. Yeah,
I'm so sorry, but that makes so much sense to me. Like,
I agree. I like that one.
Yeah. Are we gonna be alive for that? Fuck no, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck no. No, we're so early in that like time span of like that shit happening. And, like, that makes me think so crazy about, like, what we do, too. Like, we're fucking, like, the lives that me and you have lived. And, like, we started a podcast. And, like, what we do. And, like, the small amount of people that we've, like, reached so far and everything. And I'm like, what does this play into the whole, like, span of the Big Bang?
When you think about, like, humans, you can be like, well, in 500 years, this might still be available in some form for some form of human to still listen to. But when you think about, like, universal scale, like, everything that you've ever known down to, like, single particles are just going to stop existing at some point.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. Like,
this is not relevant.
Yeah.
What we're doing is not relevant
on
at
a grand
all.
scale, no. Yeah.
No, it's not. That's scary.
It's really freaky.
It is terrifying.
It's also freeing in a way.
Yeah. No, and that's life, my dude. That is totally life. That's what I try and, like, think about. When I get through, like, really tough times, especially with my own fucking mental, where I'm like, I'm having a really tough time with my own mental self and my body self, but I'm also like, this don't mean shit, bro. Why are you having these emotions right now? Because, like, remember, like, you're gonna die. Nobody's gonna remember you at some point. Like,
knowing that things don't matter frees you up to decide what matters.
Yeah.
Because you can be like, well, I get to choose.
It is hard to get to that point, though.
Yeah, for sure.
And it takes a lot of time.
It's not a flip that gets switched. A switch that gets flipped.
But I'm not there either.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I still struggle with that.
Oh,
but
me neither.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You, my wife, like me, like we all struggle with that shit. I'm sure a lot of other people do. It's really hard to separate yourself from that. But trying to at least remember that, like, what you do on this earth, technically, in the grand scheme, big picture, don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Don't mean nothing. In your own personal life, it does mean a lot. And that is where we look at things, is in our own personal lives and, like, what that means. We don't look at it as a big picture of, like, the universe and everything, where, like, Earth could get fucking blasted with an asteroid tomorrow.
I wish more people did, because then they would take, like, treating each other nicely and, like, cherishing the moment more seriously.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There would be nothing. It would be because there would be nothing left of the Earth.
One just passed by us fairly recently.
Yeah.
Within our outer.
Now, imagine if that thing hit us and then knocked us out of orbit, and we went straight towards the sun, and then Earth was no more. All of this information that we kept on the internet, and that is readily available. Thank you.
Yeah.
To us right now, it would all be lost. There'd be nothing left.
Oh, that's the thing that people don't think about.
Absolutely nothing.
It doesn't even have to be an asteroid that ends, like, all of life on the planet. It just has to be big enough to, like, scooch us a little bit out of the orbit we're currently in.
There'd be nothing,
and
bro.
It fucks up satellites. It fucks up why can't it GPS? It fucks up cellular networks. It fucks up electronical networks that are based off the magnetic field energy of the way.
It would fuck up our whole seasons.
Yeah.
It would, like, for all we know, we could either get extremely hot to where life wouldn't even be viable on the Earth, or we could get extremely cold to where life wouldn't be viable on Earth. So, like, nothing would exist anymore, and it would all be lost. Like, literally, that's all it takes. And we live in this fucking giant-ass universe where that could happen at any fucking moment.
Yeah.
Like, people don't take that shit seriously. And that's where I try and live in that moment. I try and live in that mindset where I'm just like, I'm just going to let shit fucking happen because it's just going to happen the way that it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I live with the universe. Everything's going to happen for a reason. And this is my life. I'm just going to let it fucking happen. Do I always live in that? No, I don't. Because I also live in that mind of, like, I am the universe. You are the universe.
Yeah.
Like, you are a part of that. And so, like, you live in your own mindset. Like, I get it. But, like, if people were to think about it in that big fucking spectrum, the way that, like, me and you have contemplated over time, I think they would have a better understanding about, like, certain situations when it comes to, like, Black Lives Matter and, like, all this other shit.
Well, does yelling at this black person while on camera that's going to get posted to social media later benefit me in this one life that I get in this vast universal scale of things that are ultimately not going to matter?
I mean,
no, this is going to make my life way worse.
Technically, even thinking about it in that sense, like, you could be as shitty as you wanted to. None of it matters.
Well,
if you really think about the big
well,
picture
but then
of
you
it.
got to think about it experientially. Like, do you like having a bad time while you get this one chance on the fucking rock that we live on?
No,
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I want to have a good time.
Uh-huh.
I want to be awesome with everybody. There's nobody that I would ever want to like meet or talk to that I would make them feel uncomfortable or that like I didn't like them just based off of the skin and or maybe their religious beliefs or anything like that. Like as long as you're cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. Like that's basically it. Like we can relate on something. Promise. Like that's basically where I'm at. So yeah.
Hillary Clinton has a fucking podcast. God damn it.
Hillary Clinton has a podcast.
I haven't listened to it, but I bet it's probably all right too.
I wonder if we could get sponsored by her. I think that would be hilarious.
I'm sure she has a group of people that are pretty precise and calculated that she keeps around her. The Clintons are freaky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want any part of that. It would be funny.
I'm in it for the laughs.
Yeah.
Is all it is. Because, like, we don't agree with the Clintons in any way.
Yeah, even them
So
being
I'm like-
Democratic, I'm still like, with that, I don't
You're
want
like,
to be associated
"Ugh,
at all. No. Yeah.
But I'm like, if we could get sponsored by them, it would be funny, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole reason I'd want to get sponsored by them. Because it'd be funny.
Bill's old enough, we could probably talk. Did he die? Is he dead yet? No, he's still alive. We could probably talk him into it.
Ask Google.
Hey, Google. Or, okay, Google. Is Bill Clinton still alive?
Here's what I found on the web.
Oh, well, I was too late with that. No, he's alive.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured he was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Pretty sure.
Google just told me it was, but I don't trust anything I see on the internet.
yeah.
He might be dead.
That's how you should be.
Tupac's alive, Bill Clinton's dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, so there's that.
And he's also still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that this is a great point to end our episode on.
Yeah.
So,
You got this?
yeah, I had to switch my brain
Yeah.
from like all the shit that
was a
we've
lot.
been fucking talking about to like, hey, we're still doing a podcast here. You can follow us on Facebook at Blue Skies from the Basement. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Blue Skies Pod.
Do that.
You can
You can follow us on our Podbean. That's the home base. You can get audio updates and also send comments directly to the podcast main homepage and participate with the community there. We have a Discord that's been growing and gaining in popularity. There's people who listen to the show there that like to talk about the same things we like to talk about. Keep doing that. I like it. We also have merch. If you want to check out our TeePublic, that's tpublic.com/BSFTB. We've got Mask up there for the coronavirus pandemic that's still ongoing. If you'd like to participate in the show and get on it in any way, we might be doing call-ins in future episodes. We're going to take a 2-week break, but we'll be back after that. So I'll keep you posted on the Discord, the Facebook, the Instagram, all that shit, the Twitter. We also have a Twitter. That's Blue Skies Pod. And you can call into the show at 614-600-2056. If we're not doing it live, that'll be a voicemail that can be played on the show. And if you happen to be one of the lucky people in the future that gets to do a live call-in, that'll be live and on the show. We'll do a quick little interview, kind of like Coast to Coast style with George Norrie. I love that shit. What else? Am I missing something? Blue Skies Podcast at gmail.com if you like the old-fashioned snail mail way. You don't like sending a voicemail. You don't want your voice to be heard. And
Hey.
let us know if you want to stay anonymous. If you leave us an email or a comment, just let us know if you want us to actually say your name.
Don't forget we do have merch out there. It's tpublic.com /BSFTB.
I got that one.
You did you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Like, seriously.
Never forget.
Buy some fucking merch. There's
Yeah.
plenty of shit on there that, like, you can buy.
Oh, that's the one
Like-
thing I didn't with the donate to the show. I mean, if you don't want to
Please.
buy merch, if you don't like any of the art that I've designed, fuck you. But also, you can donate. You can support to the show.
$1,
Yeah.
$2, $3, $4, $5, $100. Like, it doesn't matter. You can just donate. Like, however much money you have or your parents have, you know, like.
With PayPal, you can set that to be a recurring donation. So if you want to just give us $1 a month, or if you want to give us
That'd
the
be
price
great.
of a cup of coffee,
That'd be- I would highly appreciate the cup of coffee, though. Like,
yeah.
seriously, like, I need that shit.
It costs us about $15 a month to do the podcast, and that's ignoring all the costs that went into getting the podcast started. So if you guys want to help support what we're doing here and keep it running and keep us building the show,
If 15 of you give us $1 a month, like that would be like fucking legit.
and there's at least 80 of you listening to us on just the audio format. That's not including the video stuff that we've started doing, and we've grown a lot in the past year.
Exactly.
It's been almost 2 years coming up in February 14th. So
I'm so excited.
We're gonna continue to grow, and we can continue to build the community, and we love that you guys listen and support the show. So
Seriously,
keep doing that. Check us out on all the socials.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
We love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to Blue Skies from the Basement. This has been a great fucking episode.
It was a good one.
And we love you guys. So, later.
Peace.